running for president, who claimed the president's heated rhetoric created an atmosphere which contributed to the mass shootings in Dayton and El Paso.
So my critics are political people. They're trying to make points. In many cases, they're running for president and they're very low in the polls.
The president said he's open to calling on Congress to return from recess to strengthen background checks for gun buyers, but he also said that he sees no political appetite for banning assault rifles. Lisa?
Thanks, John. British Airways announcing its flights are returning to normal today after passengers had to endure cancellations, delays, and long lines at London airports as the airline suffered its third major computer failure in a little more than 2 years. This is Fox News.
You're a small business owner, and there's nothing small about what you do. That's why Dell Small Business Technology Advisors give you trusted advice, one-on-one partnership, and tailored tech solutions, like computers with Intel Core processors, servers, storage, networking, plus thousands of top-brand electronics, accessories, and software, no matter your technology needs. Dell is here to help your small business do big things. Call 877-BUY-DELL to speak with an advisor today. That's 877-BUY-DELL.
And now, the worst commercial ever.
Say, Jan, as a fellow respected small business professional, I wonder, who do you use for commercial auto and business insurance? Progressive.
Is Genesis in
They
today?
helped with a customized insurance for my busy
later.
large company. I'm so glad we had this chance encounter in this busy restaurant.
Yes, that fake conversation was brutal. Whereas commercial auto and business insurance through Progressive is anything but. Visit progressivecommercial.com to quote today. Insurance provided and serviced by Progressive Casualty Insurance Company.
Aurora Orthodontics and TMJ. Are you looking for a beautiful smile as an adult and you don't want to spend 60 grand on cosmetic dentistry? Listen, one veneer can be $2,200. I know. I just had something break. I'll just say this. If you are looking for beautiful teeth, there is an alternative to veneers and conventional braces for 5 or 6 years. In 2 years, Aurora Orthodontics and TMJ can straighten out your mouth in a perfect way, meaning no extractions, no surgeries. They expand your palate so it automatically takes care of TMJ and sleep apneas, plus it straightens your teeth. Then they use Invisalign for a short time. The whole thing 2 years. This is the best part. Pennies on the dollar compared to regular orthodontics and compared to, of course, cosmetic dentistry. It's a great way to go. The new orthodontics, Aurora Orthodontics and TMJ. Look them up. Dr. Kent Lawson, 303-690-0100, 690-0100. Or search orthodontics on my referral list at referralist.com. Aurora Orthodontics and TMJ.
Hi, this is Courtney Pierce, owner of the all-new Buy and Build Kitchen and Bath. Come see us at our new location, 560 South LaPan Street in Denver. We are located just south of Alameda on LaPan Street. Just look for the big orange and blue building. You can't miss it. We have Denver's best deals on kitchen cabinets, bathroom cabinets, and granite tops. With 2 cabinet colors in stock, ready for immediate pickup, and 11 more just a few weeks away, we can save you thousands on your new kitchen or bathroom without the long wait you get at other stores. Visit us at 560 South LaPan Street, Denver, or online at buyandbuild.net.
2 things happen when you get a DUI. A criminal charge and a civil proceeding against your license. Get an experienced, aggressive attorney who can help you in both areas. Joseph A. Lazara, 303-429-6200. That's 429-6200.
The big question, can rates continue to drop? Have you taken advantage of these low rates, or are you still waiting? Take AIM, affordable interest mortgage. To get that low rate, to lower your payment, or to take cash out for home improvement, or just pay off debt and save even more. Call 720-895-0500. Have you applied for a loan and been treated like just another number? Or is no one listening to what you want? Never get the same person when you call to find out your status? Take AIM, 720-895-0500. When we've been providing personalized service since 2001, we want to know what you want. We listen to you and find a loan that fits you, all with lower fees and low rates. We will save you time and thousands in unnecessary expense and interest. 720-895-0500. Want to pay off your home faster without changing your spending habits? Want to see how much you can save when you use a broker who knows Colorado? We offer low down payment loans, purchase loans to 95% without mortgage insurance, and customized terms. Take AIM, 720-895-0500, and be treated with respect. Again, NMLS 298191, regulated by DORA, equal credit lender.
It's the new Dan Caplis Show. Afternoons 4 to 6.
Wednesday at 4. After 7 long years away, John Hickenlooper coming home to the Dan Caplis Show. Yeah, we disagree about most everything, but we will do it in a frank and respectful way. A battle of ideas, not egos. Join me at 4.
This is the Troubleshooter Show.
I need somebody.
Now, Tom Martino, the Troubleshooter.
Help me if you can, I'm feeling bad.
Hello, I'm Tom Martino, your troubleshooter, and I welcome you to the only show of its kind anywhere. Thank you. If you found it, you're here. Make it a habit. In fact, tell people about it, because here's the real strength of the show. The real strength is not necessarily calling and getting help, although we love to do that. The real strength is preventing problems by hearing other people's problems. 303-713-TALK this hour, brought to you by Genesis Total Exterior. No, yeah, he's going to be here, right? Genesis is going to be here. I don't mean no. I mean, I meant to see him, Mark Szymanski, but he's not here yet, so I'm going to hold off on that. Frank Duran, therealestateman.com. How about that? If you're looking to buy or sell real estate, you've heard me say this every day, so I'm going to expect you to hold me to my word. If you don't have the best experience in real estate, you let me know. But Frank Duran will never let you down. 303-920-1622. Frank Duran, therealestateman.com. Okay, so Marilyn wants to talk about a problem. This is a big problem about getting hit by a car and not having insurance. Delbert, the apartment complex keeps inspecting his apartment. Kathy, she called about her husband needing dental work. We'll talk about that. Right now, I'm going to talk about Angie. I'm going to talk with Angie. Should I bring them both up at the same time? Let's bring up Marilyn and Angie. Who wants to start telling us this problem? It's a terrible problem. Go ahead.
Yes, I will.
All right. What's happening?
My dad got hit by a car on July 17th in Pueblo. He was a pedestrian walking in the crosswalk.
Was the other party, were they ticketed?
He was arrested.
Arrested? Why was he arrested?
He was charged with
was he drunk?
Assault, DUI, correct?
Wow. All right, so a drunk hit your dad in the crosswalk. Doesn't get much worse than that. What happened? Is your dad okay?
He's stable. He's in Denver, at Denver General. He has an amputated leg, a broken...
Oh, my God. Wait, amputation as a result of this accident?
Correct.
Is he on Medicaid?
Yes, he is, and Medicare.
So he's not paying anything out of pocket?
As of right now, no.
Well, he won't. I mean, if he's on Medicaid and Medicare?
I heard from my cousin that they will only charge so much. I don't understand Medicaid and Medicare.
Okay, let's get our health insurance experts on, because they understand it. I believe first of all, if you're on Medicare, that takes care of the bulk. Medicaid is for what you would normally pay. That's the way I think it works. On Medicaid, you pay nothing usually because it's based on income. Your dad qualifies for both, you're saying. How old is your dad?
67.
Okay. Now, let's assume medical bills will be taken care of. But we'll find out. Now, did the driver of the other car have insurance?
Well,
not the other car. I'm sorry. He's a pedestrian. Did the guy that hit your dad have insurance?
That's Angie.
That's me.
Wait. Oh, I'm sorry. Didn't you say your dad was hit by a car?
Yes.
Okay. Who's the driver of the car that hit?
He was a younger kid who lives around Pueblo.
Okay. This younger kid, did he have insurance?
Well, and the police report shows that he had insurance, and so we filed an insurance claim, and I spoke with the insurance adjuster yesterday who said that they had let the policy expire on June 30th was the last day of coverage. And the incident happened on July 17th. So...
Well, we have to see if there was any grace period. We'll have to talk about that. Who was the carrier this guy had?
Kemper Insurance.
Insured by Kemper. Okay. So I want to talk first about Medicare and Medicaid. Let's get that out of the way. I'm going to talk to Jared at Integra Insurance.
Jared?
Yes.
Integra Insurance serve as our experts for health insurance coverage and Medicare and Medicaid. They just know all about this space. Okay. When you're on Medicaid, it pays for everything and is based on income. When you're on Medicare, you have to make copays. But what if you're broke? Can you get both Medicare and Medicaid?
Yes, you can. It's called dual eligibility.
And I'm assuming the dad has dual eligibility, so he wouldn't have any out-of-pocket expenses. Is that right?
Correct.
So that's good news. So Marilyn and Angie, talking about Dad. What's his first name?
Robert.
Okay, Robert. Okay, so Rob, whatever. Okay, so Rob is in the hospital. Presumably his bills will be taken care of. So what are you calling about now? What can we help you with?
Well, he's going to have to go into a long-term care facility, and so we need to know if that's going to be covered.
Okay, let's find out. Jared, what about long-term care? This guy's 67. He now is facing long-term care as a result of injuries. He had a leg amputated. I mean, this is some serious stuff. So what happens then, Jared?
So everything works through Medicare first, then Medicaid. I would have to look at long-term. There is long-term care benefits with Medicare and Medicaid.
Okay.
I'd have to do a little bit more research, but
okay.
There are benefits.
But normally, they're not going to put the guy in the street.
No.
Okay. We're going to have Jared just do some research on what happens if you're an amputee, you require either assisted living or in-home care. He's going to do a little research on that. Thank you, Jared, at Integra Insurance. That's why I tell people, you don't get better people than these guys. They not only can help you, but they have answers. They know the whole space. 303-466-5500. And what's really important, you don't pay an extra dime going through a broker like this, Integra Insurance. Now, Marilyn and Angie, let's assume that all of the long-term care and the medical care is going to be taken care of, and we will help you through that process. Now, what about pain and suffering? That's the unfortunate thing. I'll bet you this guy didn't have much insurance. You're saying he had none. We'll see about that. We're going to call Compass about grace periods. So, Suzanne, if we can get a hold of Compass Insurance Group, our insurance experts as well, our car and home insurance experts. So, Marilyn and Angie, as far as personal injury, there's not much you can do. This is a kid that doesn't have anything, right?
He's 22 and unemployed.
22 unemployed. Ah, goodness gracious. He's a tick away from bankruptcy if you did get a judgment. You're not going to... Well, although being egregious like this with being drunk, it may not be dischargeable in bankruptcy. So, were you calling mainly about the medical bills?
For me, it was calling about the insurance company, what information you knew about Kemper.
Okay, we'll find out. We'll find out. And then what else?
Medicaid and Medicare. I believe my dad has Part B Medicare.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's Medicare.
He has Part A. He has Part A, Part B. He has normal Medicare probably. And then here's the good part. He's also eligible for Medicaid. Again, Integra Insurance will help us through that maze. And as far as the other stuff, the personal injury and all that, we're going to research that, and we're going to do that. Yes?
I do have a question. If we did to him and he won a judgment against this kid, would he lose his Medicaid and Medicare?
You know what? We've had that question before. It is not considered income. No, he wouldn't. First of all, he's full retirement age for Social Security and Medicare. It doesn't matter. Okay? He doesn't lose anything. Is he on Social Security benefits yet? The actual monthly check?
Yes, he's been on that for years.
Oh, if he got that at 62, did he get that because of a disability, or did he get it because he was 62?
Disability.
He got it because he has disability.
Okay. He does have some income requirements. I don't know what happens. No, he will not now at this age. I don't think he's going to. I don't know, actually. I got to find that out. We got to find that out with Social Security. You know, Suzanne, we use Integra Insurance for the Medicare part of it and also in general. But we need to find someone to ask about how Medicare, how Social Security benefits are affected by an award. Now, by the way, a judgment is not income. It's only if you guys collect. Remember that part. Now, if you do collect, I do not believe it is considered income for the purposes of Medicaid. But we got to find all this out.
This report is
wait, Jared would know about income for Medicare, for Medicaid purposes. Is an insurance settlement considered income? Ask him that.
But aren't they going to refund Medicare and Medicaid with that money they get?
You mean pay back?
Yeah. Unless it's
Medicaid, is it to be eligible for Medicaid, they go by income. Would an insurance settlement be considered income?
The weather forecast. Going to be a chance of afternoon thunderstorms today with a high near 93.
Okay, I can't play racquetball tomorrow because I'm leaving on Friday there, but Ross might be able to with you.
KFC's $20 Plus will feed a family of 4 with 8 pieces of delicious Kentucky Fried Chicken, 2 sides of taters and gravy, coleslaw, and 4 flaky biscuits for just $20. So stop into a KFC and treat yourself to a $20 fill-up. KFC, it's finger-licking good.
Ideal Home Loans for your next Ideal Home Loan. Brent Ivinson is the owner. I know him personally. I know the people over there. And you know what? You don't get lost in a maze of a big bad company. This is a homegrown company founded in Colorado for Colorado. They have an easy process. Closings are usually 3 weeks or less, especially with an approval. You get a pre-approval, it's like a cash deal. It is an actual approval. So all they need is title work and an appraisal. IdealHomeLoans.com. They also do something that is very important, the most important, an interest rate guarantee. You don't have to worry about timing the market. Get closed, and then for 2 years, you're covered. If rates go down, they refinance you free of charge. IdealHomeLoans.com. All you have to do is get a new loan, and then you get another 2 years. 303-867-7000. 867-7000.
Heard all the companies out there claiming they can help you with your back taxes? Most are all talk and get
Do you know, I am convinced that aircraft are designed in such a way to fuck people up when they try to work on them. Have you ever seen things, whether it's aircraft or not, no matter what, when you're working on shit, and it is so difficult, you wonder how the hell do they expect anyone to do it? And it's almost like they don't. It's almost like they put shit together in secret.
Oh, some cars are like that too. I mean, look, you got to pull the engine to change spark plugs.
Some exotics like that?
Well, not exotics. And
Come
stuff
on.
Like
What would you
have
have
to
to
take off the intake manifold
Okay.
to get at it and stuff. With, you know, because everything's so tight now. But I don't think they do it. I think they just everything's. But the planes might be different. But you do got to wonder when you look at why can't they have put this here?
You do it right by having what you need for any job on hand, so you're spending more time on the job site than away from it.
Good morning, troubleshooters. Time to add to the sleep today.
I know I have to. Mark, I'm working on this forum where people can upload video links. It looks pretty good so far. I just have to...
well, remember, a lot of people don't have video links.
Well, I know. Well, then what do they do?
Upload the video.
Well,
that's the hard
run
part.
out of space in a fucking short time if they do that. Here's the part.
Not if we stay on top of it.
It's just as easy for them to load to YouTube.
No, okay. I mean,
or
that's
not.
fine.
I don't care.
Most people are retarded.
If we want people to do that, we can do that too. But the problem with that is our gallery. I mean, fucking videos are long. Now we can delete some as they get older. Yeah.
No, but like the one Paul did compresses it when you upload it. Just like when you upload a 5,000 megabyte thing to YouTube.
For what?
The form we have right now, when you upload video, it compresses it. Just like when you upload to YouTube or anywhere else, it compresses the shit out of it. You can't just have raw video. I agree with you. You'd have one guy uploading fucking, Netflix. You got to have that option, though. We still are going to limit it to maybe 200 megs or whatever, but that's an hour's worth of video if you compress it. And then we would always just delete the video if it's, you know, unless it's worthless.
Win your way to our 2019 iHeartRadio Music Festival and $1,000 to spend while you're in Vegas. Arena here in Las Vegas. More than 30 of the biggest music superstars, handpicked by iHeartRadio, hosted by Ryan Seacrest.
Hi, Tom Martino here, 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. Welcome. Let's talk, all right? We have a guy that is in a hospital room, had a leg amputated. He's on Medicare and Medicaid. Now, the chances of him collecting anything from a 22-year-old underinsured kid are next to nil. Even if they get a judgment, chances are he'll just go bankrupt. There's a possibility that the bankruptcy will not discharge it if it's egregious due to being drunk. But I think, other than fraud, it is dischargeable. That's a whole separate question. But what about, let's just say magically they collected money, or this guy collected money. Jeremy, income requirements, I've always found it fascinating for Medicaid. Oh, I'm sorry, Compass. Oh, Compass is on now. Good, good, good. What did he say about Medicaid?
He said they won't go after future settlements, but you know, if he was on Medicaid and they had a large amount in a bank account, they may find him ineligible for that. But they won't go after this insurance settlement, say 2 years from now.
Okay. And by the way, on Medicaid, they don't go after any equity. That I know. My curiosity was only on a settlement. In fact, I know people with $1 million of equity in homes, and they're on Medicaid because it only goes by income. Now I'm going to talk to Jeremy at Compass Insurance. Jeremy, this guy that hit them, or hit this pedestrian, was drunk. Mm-hmm. And Kemper Insurance says, so sorry, this policy lapsed. Now, hold on a sec. Marilyn, or either one, Marilyn or Angie, when did it lapse, they say?
June 30th.
And when did the accident happen?
July 17th.
Now, is there any kind of a grace period, Jeremy? That was my main question.
Probably not. Usually the grace period, that's the date that they're probably giving. So if the policy canceled on June 30th, that would probably include that grace period.
If he had car insurance, the pedestrian, is there any part of that he can use?
Yeah, that's what I was going to suggest. I would have him look, if he does have car insurance, both his medical and uninsured motorist can come into play.
So if that guy is underinsured, he can go after his own company for pain and suffering.
It would most likely supplement the judgment that he won. So he takes the kid to court, wins, he can recoup that judgment.
Or settle. Possibly. Or settle.
Sure.
Now,
the first step would be to contact...
What's that?
My dad does not have car insurance.
So then that discussion's out the window.
Yeah, yeah.
But what? Okay, so Marilyn, Angie, we're basically you're basically limited right now. You have, thank goodness, Medicare and Medicaid. As far as getting a judgment against this kid, it's probably useless. It's useless. I mean, I don't know, unless you think he's going to win the lottery or not go bankrupt and have to challenge it.
The other thing, Tom, if they got a judgment, they can certainly push the issue with Kemper. I mean, if the policy truly was canceled and there's no coverage in place, then that's probably going to end up being a dead end. But it kind of makes that more official than maybe them just telling them that, yeah, sorry, the policy's canceled.
In other words, they'd have to prove that there was no grace period. Is Kemper a respectable company?
They are, yeah. I mean, I would think that what they're telling them is legitimate. Yeah, we used to represent them, and I wouldn't have any qualms against them.
Okay.
But, you know, that's the way to make that official.
All right, 303-713-TALK. All right, see, I get that. Now, Mark Szymanski joins us from Genesis Total Exteriors. If you have any questions on home improvements, of course, we get this every day. People are talking about basements. They're talking about kitchens, baths. They're talking about siding, roofing. They're talking about decks. The big thing is, you know, probably you're busy with insurance work now, right, rather than regular?
It's starting to roll in a little bit.
It's starting to roll in, or?
Yeah, because the first storm was July 4th.
That you mean the most recent?
Yeah, and we got last year's too, but still, and then the storms have been spotty. It hasn't been like last year. It was massive.
It was
a lot of damage right now.
So this year there aren't a lot of big.
No, it's little pockets. Everybody's, you know, the roofing companies, supply houses. They're
slow.
They're slower. Yeah.
Okay.
So
now when it comes to other improvements, you know, kitchens, baths, basements. Those are basically the ones, right?
Yeah,
Kitchens, baths,
and we're doing a ton of stucco and stone.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
so they're converting from what?
Oh, they'll do, you know, go from siding or take the bottom half of their house, and they'll take that and make that stone and maybe stucco above instead of siding. We've been doing a lot of that. And
really?
Just a huge improvement on the house and the look, and it's just so popular right now.
Now, do you do the stucco from the actual, you do stucco?
It's real stucco. We don't do any EIFS.
You don't do EIFS except for trim, right? Do you do EIFS?
Well, you still have a stucco behind it. It's just a piece of styrofoam as your trim piece.
Yeah.
And then you hard coat over it. You still have zero problems if it's done right.
So you like the real deal.
The real deal.
And it's really important with stucco that you shed the water.
Correct.
The flashing, right? Really important because you don't get to see behind it and it could rot out.
Right, exactly.
And then also another common flaw in stucco is when they bring it down to the ground or grade and don't protect it.
Right, and you have to have a certain, I think it's 6 inches between grade, 2 inches between concrete.
But you still have to seal the bottom, right? You don't leave it open.
But you should put a coat underneath the bottom of that, yes.
And it's amazing what a simple thing that is and how many people don't do it.
Right. It's really bad with EIFS because that styrofoam will suck up the water.
So people, if you're moving into a home with stucco, it's not a bad idea. In addition to a regular home inspection, there are stucco inspectors.
There are.
And I recommend it. If you have a lot of stucco in a home, a stucco inspector goes way beyond a normal home inspection. And I have to tell you this. I have found it's saving people tons of money. So stucco inspection is crucial. 303-713-TALK, 303-713-8255. Let's talk to Kathy. We do have lines open. Kathy, what's going on? You told us a story by email, I believe it was, and we're not sure. It didn't make complete sense to me until I started talking to medical professionals. Could you go on and talk about this, Kathy?
Sure. My husband has advanced prostate cancer.
Advanced prostate cancer. Okay. How was it discovered?
He was having some issues, and we were seeing some doctors, and then he was in a lot of pain, and we went to an emergency room, and they found it there.
Where was he having pain?
In his back.
I want to give people information that's crucial. Had he been getting regular checkups or PSAs of the blood level?
No, he had not.
Okay.
So I definitely recommend men need to get that done.
So when he went to the doctor, was it already advanced?
Yes. He was having some urination difficulty. He's older. He's 60. He's not that old.
Did you just say he's older? He's 60?
That makes Tom really old.
Okay. So Kathy, now
I know.
What's the prognosis at this point?
He's fighting it. He's always going to have cancer. Basically, they have said they're just.
Did it get into his? Did it get into his lymph nodes?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Gotten into his lymph nodes. It has gone into his bones. He's getting chemotherapy. That is definitely helping the PSA level, and it's also helping. The lymph nodes are getting smaller. Unfortunately, it's not really helping the bone cancer. And there's a bone treatment he can get, but he has to get his teeth fixed first.
Now, this is what I don't understand. This is where, now, tell me about his teeth. Did he neglect his mouth for years?
Yes, he did.
Okay. Now,
yeah.
What does that mean? He has to get dental work before he can get this cancer treatment. We'll talk about that right after this.
This is Denver's Talk Station.
Yeah, actually, I had a friend. I don't remember why, but he had bone marrow cancer. He had to get his dental work done first.
Who was that?
Just a friend of mine, and I don't remember all the details of that.
I assume it's the infection and stuff that they probably got.
Yeah, right. I think maybe your bones weakened too through all this.
Slow spots coming out of the tech center. It's a bit stop and go northbound I-25 from Orchard traveling up towards Yale, and then it slows down again downtown between 6th Avenue and Colfax. Southbound a little slow either side of the Spear. Speeds have improved on that ramp northbound 225 to westbound I-70, although westbound I-70 a little slow either side of that ramp, and slow in the elevated portion as well. And westbound 270.
Hey, is stucco better for protecting your siding against hail? Stucco,
Yeah, stucco holds up better.
Better than regular siding.
It's rare. I mean, you'll see EFIS get beat up, but it's EFIS, the styrofoam, so they can punch through that. That's rare. You see stucco damage.
So wait, the stucco's in front of the EFIS, right?
Well, we do some. Well, if you coat over it, yeah. But again, in general, if we
You've heard me talk about Everlast siding. I love the stuff. You can soak it in water. The damn stuff has a lifetime of durability. It's waterproof, color fast. The color's impregnated through and through. A palette of colors and a rich texture. You know, you heard us talking on the show here about siding options. Well, if you're thinking about siding, K&H Home Solutions has a special this month. They're going to do the Everlast siding for the lowest price they've ever had, which is 40% off. Now listen, they normally do give some pretty good pricing, but this is the lowest even they've ever had. They also have financing available. Now, I love K&H as a company. I've known them for years. They've been around for like 62 years. I knew the original owner, and then I knew when Ted took them over about 30 years ago. Still the same great company. New name, it was K&H Windows. Now it's K&H Home Solutions because they offer a number of solutions from window siding and doors and more. K&H has what you're looking for. 303-421-7100. Now, if you want to make your own appointment, it's khwindows.com.
Okay, Tommy, waiting to hear from, hi Mark, waiting to hear from Dr. Kelly, but look, I have, for the Denver nuisance law, Ryan Luby and Marley Berdowski for the director. You don't have your screen like mine. Well, the director of, I'll have to put it on this line so you know.
No, it doesn't matter. I mean, I'll remember it.
So, okay.
Of code enforcement,
prosecution and code enforcement.
For Denver nuisance law.
Well, they're calling for the Denver. Daphne lined that up. You wanted someone on for the Denver nuisance law, so they're both on, okay?
Yeah.
Remember Ryan Luby? He's such a nice guy.
Yeah.
Waiting to hear from Dr. Kelly. I told Kathy to hang tight for her, okay? Okay.
So how's everybody doing?
I'm just in a fucking shit mood over this fucking guy in frickin' fucking India.
What's going on?
He's just a fucking asshole. They all are. I swear to God, man. I mean, I think at this point I'd rather just spend money with someone in town or somewhere. I'm just fucking sick of
Everyone
these
jobs
pricks.
it out, even the ones that say they do it. There's
There's no one. I don't have anybody's office to drive to and fucking take a baseball bat to him either.
So what's going on with this?
He's just fucking, I think, overbilling like a motherfucker. Considering you can live there for like $8 a fucking day.
How can you make as much as $1,000?
Or would you want to?
But it's their choice to live there. It's not fucking mine.
Credit card interest compound at 18 or 20% or more. Move it into your mortgage at a much lower rate and save up to $1,000 a month. Mortgage rates haven't been this low in over a year, so now is the time to take advantage. As long as you have equity in your home, you can pay off any debt, not just credit.
I'm just fucking sick of it, dude. I mean, we're to the point we could hire someone to do this. I mean, fucking, like, for real.
Okay.
Tom, Dr. Kelly is available now and is packed, so can we push her ahead of these other folks here?
You talk to them, and if they're fine with it, yeah. I just tell them we have somebody that can get on a doctor.
Except a bunch of interest expense. So give them a call, 303-695-7000, that's 303-695-7000, or online at AmericanFinancing.net.
Advice 12334, regulated by the Division of Real Estate.
Did you know there's a way to list your home to attract multiple offers and incite bidding wars? Hi, I'm Tom Martino. Do you know what it is? Don't feel bad. Neither do most real estate brokers. But Frank Duran, the real estate man, uses this system in all of his listings.
There's simply no substitute for drive, discipline, passion, and experience. And we give you that.
Frank Duran, part of RE/MAX Alliance. No one better. 303-920-1622. 920-1622. Seeing is believing. Hello, I'm consumer advocate Tom Martino, and Icon Eye Care made me a believer. You see, I was tired of wearing glasses and my eyes getting worse and worse over time, so I investigated this extraordinary procedure at Icon. A clear lens replacement. No glasses. Not now. Not ever. And because they're made from advanced silicone, I'll never get cataracts. Find out more about your clear lens replacement at IconEyeCare.com. That's IconEyeCare.com.
Hi, Tom Martino here, 303-713-TALK, 713-255. Very quickly, we were talking to Kathy. Her husband has advanced prostate cancer. It has moved into the bones, and there is a treatment available in addition to the chemo he's already on. But she said before he can get this treatment, he needs dental work. Now, I'm not exactly sure why or how this is all coming about. I'm going to talk to Kathy. So, Kathy,
yes.
Can you explain to me the need for this dental work? What did the doctors tell you?
Apparently, the bone treatment that they want to give him can have a very serious side effect, that if you have any kind of decay in your teeth and you need any kind of dental work done, it can actually deteriorate the whole jaw. And so it's a side effect of the bone treatment if he doesn't have his teeth taken care of first. It can have very dire consequences with a side effect.
Okay, so they say, get it done, and then we'll give you this treatment. What is wrong? Had they determined there is something wrong with his mouth, or would they have told everyone to do this?
His teeth don't look good. He knew he had a couple teeth he needed worked on.
Would they have told anyone to get it checked first?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And has he had his mouth checked by a dentist?
He went to a dentist on Monday. We did have an appointment to go in today, but because we did not have the money to pay up front, I even offered to give them my debit card number so they could take it out of my account on Friday, and they wouldn't do it without the money, and we're broke.
Now,
I mean, I'm working. We have money coming in.
Is he on Medicaid?
No.
So how are you paying for the cancer treatment?
My insurance. I'm employed, and I have very good insurance.
That's really good news. Now, as far as dental, though, what did they say he needs?
He needs 5 extractions and 2 fillings, and then obviously.
What about his gums?
They didn't. His gums seem to be okay.
That's good.
They didn't say anything about his gums.
And then, how long after this can he get the treatment?
Well, it's kind of a weird window because he gets chemotherapy every 3 weeks. They can't do it 2 weeks after chemo. The dental work. They can't do it 2 weeks until the chemo is ended, or that 2 weeks in between. And then, because the dentist isn't going to want to work on him with the chemo in his system. And then,
I see.
And he has.
And then what? How long after the dental work will they be satisfied that his mouth is healed?
As soon as the dentist clears him. The dentist actually has to sign a release that he can get this treatment. It's a release form that he has to sign over to the oncologist to say he can go ahead and get the bone treatment.
I want to remind people we have lines open at 303-713-TALK. And then we have people from the city of Denver to come on to talk about the Denver nuisance abatement laws, the ones that I've been railing on for years, and maybe they can add some perspective to it. Right now, let's talk to Dr. Kelly, Avenue Dental Studio. Dr. Kelly is someone who is a sponsor of the show. They do everything from full mouth restorations to cosmetic work, and we really like this place. Suzanne loves the commercials, doing commercials for them. She loves bragging about them because of what they did for her. I mean, this is amazing. She just needed some light cosmetic work on her front teeth, but it's just such an astounding difference. Let's talk to Dr. Kelly. I just wanted to give the kudos to her. Dr. Kelly, this case, you listened to the show, you heard about this because we had an email and we told you about it. So what do you think? Have you heard of this where people's mouth have to be in good condition before they can get cancer treatment?
Hi, Tom. Yeah, it's very important. So I give kudos to her doc who's doing the cancer treatment. It's a condition that can occur. It's a very serious called osteonecrosis. And we first started seeing it in women who took medication for osteoporosis. And then they would come in and get treatment. They get teeth removed, and then their jaw would necrose. Ooh. The skin would necrose off the top and the bone.
So it would disintegrate?
Yes.
Ooh.
It's a very serious thing. So they want, her husband is going to be immunocompromised anyways because of all the treatment. So they want to take care of this before he starts treatment and get any kind of infection, any kind of disease out of his mouth to avoid him having any trouble with this. So, yeah, kudos to their doc for sure.
Okay, so let's talk about that. What do you think you can do now? She's willing to pay. She just can't pay it all up front.
Yeah, you know what? Have them come see me. I will take care of them so that he can get on his way with cancer treatment. It sounds like they're going through a lot already.
Wow.
They have a lot on their plate. I would love to take care of them and kind of relieve some of that burden from them right now.
Wow, that is wonderful. Now, Kathy?
Yeah, that would be great. That would be really wonderful because it's been really hard.
Oh, Kathy. You know what?
He's making me cry. You're making me cry too, Kathy.
No, we can understand this, Kathy. Go ahead.
It's just been one thing after another, and he's just really fighting so hard, and it's just hard to find anybody that will work with you. So thank you so much.
You're welcome. I'd love to help you guys out. Come and see me, and hopefully I could take that burden off of you guys for a little bit, and he can continue with his treatment, and I'd love to do that for you. So come in, and I can take a look, and we can move forward.
Okay, and your name and number?
Yeah, we're going to do all that, Kathy. We're going to give that all to you, Dr. Kelly, and they have 2 locations. Where are you located, Kathy?
We're in Littleton.
Okay, and Avenue Dental Studio is in the Denver Tech Center and in Monument, so you'll have it's very conveniently located, plenty of parking. So hold on, and we'll give you all that information. And for those listening, they are wonderful. Avenue Dental Studio. She's not doing this for publicity. She didn't even know we were going to put her on the air. Dr. Kelly told us privately we're going to take care of this. We just thought we should let people know. Listen, that's what this is all about. This show is all about helping people. And, of course, we're just the facilitators. I get credit where probably I shouldn't, but we put it all together. And thank God we have people on the referral list that just love people. That's what it's all about. It truly is. 720. Now, this is Avenue Dental Studio. 720-240-4740. AvenueDentalStudio.com. And again, she didn't know we were going to do this and publicize this. And Kathy, we want to know step by step. We're all going to pray for your husband. So let's have his first name so we can make it personal. What's
Edward.
his? Edward. Okay. So
Edward.
We're all going to pray for him. Okay. So you let us know how things go. All right. We have more coming up.
This report is sponsored by Napa Auto Parts.
Seriously, fucking kind regards is a fucking stupid ending.
How much time
to
after
anything.
that? How much time?
I remain at your disposal. What the fuck does that mean? To me, that's fucking patriotism. It is, man. It fucking is.
What's that, Mark?
Just the way some people end their emails, I find fucking stupid.
They're not the same. They don't have the same courtesies and the same. I don't know what you mean by that.
He said in kind regards. People say, I mean,
Oh, that's common. Yeah.
Yeah, sincerely in kind regards.
Anytime you get a scam email, they always say kindly.
They're always. That's. You know what? You're right. That's where it comes.
You always a scam.
I remain at your disposal. The fuck?
Yes, I am disposable.
Who the fuck says that? It's stupid.
Okay, guys, I gotta do this.
I think he's using the wrong word.
Napa Auto Parts stores and auto care centers. While supplies last. Offer expires August 31st.
Well,
let's talk about Denver egress windows. Those are window wells. We call them egress windows. And you know, the Senate family specializes in those. It's denveregresswindow.com. Now, they can put in a brand new window well and a brand new window where one never existed to give you the safety. But the builders put them in with this crap corrugated steel and they start rotting out. They can rebuild them as well and make them look beautiful. The only company specializing in this, denveregresswindow.com, 720-626-4221. You have one. Can you put it on the tape for Sheridan? You have Sheridan on this. Can you put on the tape for it?
when you put it in there, don't you seal the egress to the foundation of the country? Yeah. Not my folks. It looks like they had a big rainstorm. It looks like it came in through there.
Usually just spray foam and caulking.
Babbel's award-winning technology gets you speaking right away. Whether you're learning Spanish, French, or German.
What is the difference of sealant and caulking?
Sealant.
Is it silicon?
No, there's all different types, but sealant has much more flexibility than caulking.
Okay.
So you should not use caulking. You should use sealant.
Sealant because it remains flexible.
Flexible and move a lot.
Okay.
So Dow Corning makes it nice. So you can't buy it at Home Depot. You gotta go like to Smalley, or someplace like that.
No wonder Babbel is
Now, I have my folks in Minnesota that had 3.5 inches of rain with the wind. It's never had any water in the basement.
Did you get the application filled out?
My brother starts digging through there.
No, I don't even want to think about it right now. It's not going to work because she doesn't even live in there. It just isn't going to work. She's got to live in RTD. She doesn't.
That's what I was trying to tell you about applying for it to begin with.
It's just fucking stupid. So she's just whatever. We just got to pay it.
Okay, so do we want her driving there or still doing the parking light rail? Which do you want?
How much is the driving? What's the difference?
50 cents in parking.
Then it doesn't matter.
Someone else's fault. You should be paid. It's not.
I tell you, she would always know by light rail what her time frame is to get there. Driving.
Really, I've been on that fucker going to the football game. I swear to God, I was stuck on it for fucking hours, and it said I'd be there before I was fucking still on the train.
Well, that's if there's an issue, but there's always traffic going that way. You never know how bad.
How safe is it at night? Seriously.
I've had no problems.
I've had no problems, but
That's-
I'm a guy.
Right.
And
I wouldn't want my wife riding by herself.
Right.
on the light rail at 6 at night at
Oh, no, 6.
on Tuesday and Thursday
No,
nights?
it's 6 at night, but I'm talking 10, 11 o'clock at night.
That's when the whole
On a Friday night.
Are they all around there all the time?
I'm on the west line. No.
And, you know, at night, homeless people in the wintertime stay on there.
No, I'm talking 6, 7 o'clock.
It's usually, you have
Yeah, you got
commuters.
Okay.
She'll come.
So, light rail.
Yeah.
And if it gets bad, if she's...
Well, I guess it really doesn't matter. She can do both. It's not like we're buying passes or anything. If she parks, she pays the $3.50. If she takes light rail, she pays the $4. There's really no difference.
Get a monthly parking fee at there at Metro?
Oh, you mean a monthly?
Or monthly or...
Parking? I don't know. I gotta look.
24/7. Put them in your back pocket until you need them. If you need them, I hope you never need them. I call it property trauma. Fire, flood,
That's in
storm,
light rail
mold,
versus the
chemical
bus. It's not
exposure,
very comfortable.
toxins, asbestos, If
you
you
know, or
need
bust
a
them.
cleanup, no one better than
Kick-back
American
seats.
Restoration 24/7.
I like the way Light Rail always puts on extra trains if they got a event.
8337
Yeah, they
and
didn't do that for
I'm just kidding you because I know you had said that last time.
You hear a lot of celebrity endorsements in town telling you who you should call
In
for
the
your
end,
next home loan.
it's a
The
government
question you have to
run
ask yourself,
subsidies.
is that who they
They don't
called when it
know
was time for them to get a
customer
mortgage?
service,
When you
anything
hear an on-air personality
But you're right,
talk about
Garth
ideal
Brooks,
home
they
loans,
knew there was
it's
gonna be
because they picked up
8,000
the phone and
people
called us for their own
Why wouldn't they
personal
have done
home loan. To find out how
Done
we
extra
can help
trains,
you,
extra
call us
this.
today at Ideal Home Loans,
I'd like to
303-867-7000, or apply online at idealhomeloans.com.
Let me see your
Equal
wallet real
opportunity
quick.
lender regulated by DORA, NMLS 136756 for terms and
Go buy
conditions.
some.
Call 844-45.
Got my own wallet for that.
And what the fuck does FYIP mean? What in the fuck? Look, this is what he emails me. What in the fuck does that
For
mean?
your information,
Partner.
comrade.
For your information. There's no way
You
FYIP
had
means
that
anything.
9010 for that insurance payment. You had your card replaced. It used to be 9010, and then you got this card, and it's now this.
Then
So
just put on one of yours.
Or in Aurora on Havana just south of 6th Avenue. Sheridan.
Put it on the personal, not the. Put it on the venture.
Personal. On the blue card.
Going to downtown
Fuck. FYIP. I should. You know what? I'm gonna email him back.
Google what
GYER. There.
Mark's gonna wish he was a little later.
No, actually something better. Here, I'll just randomly do it. This. There. And then a question mark.
You can hear Ross Kaminsky
Fucking
tackle
nut.
the liberal left tomorrow morning 5 to 10.
Getting 630K
FYIP. You think he accidentally hit P? Is that what you're thinking?
On 630
Suzanne.
Oh, never mind. Hi, Tom Martino, your troubleshooter.
We don't have a lot of time, but I do want to go and take this. Maybe we can spill it over a little to next hour. It doesn't matter if we can or not. I want to talk to him. 303-713-TALK is our number, and we do have lines open. And don't forget, Mark Szymanski's here from Genesis Total Exteriors. I'm not sure who I'm talking to. Am I talking to both?
yes, Tom.
Okay.
Marley Bordowski and Ryan Luby.
Okay, Ryan is the PIO for the city. He's been on the show before. He was a reporter at Channel 7. He did a great job. Ryan, I'm sorry to see you leave the business because we need people like you. But I trust you're happy where you are. So,
very happy. I enjoy these folks greatly. But yes,
okay, so
for sure.
You're a PIO. That's good. So we need information on the city. We have access through you, right? That's good.
That's right.
We called you about Denver nuisance law. I assume you want the director of the. Is it the director of the actual prosecution and code enforcement? Is she the one, Marley, in charge of prosecuting this?
Marley is the director of our prosecution and code enforcement section here at the city attorney's office, but I refer to as the brains of how all of this comes to be and how it changes over time, etc.
All right. Now, you guys are no stranger to this, Marley, and I don't believe, by the way, in submarine attacks and sneak attacks. I've never have. I don't pretend to be a journalist who is doing this objectively. I gather facts objectively, make decisions. But I definitely take stands. I don't remain neutral. Going into this, I'm a little prejudiced, okay, already. I don't like the Denver nuisance abatement law from my experience handling these consumer complaints. So as long as you know that, then, you know, there's no sneak attack. I think it sucks. I really do. But I believe also that people have reasons for what they do. Denver didn't wake up one day and say, let's make life difficult for people. So can you explain the genesis of the nuisance abatement law?
Yeah, sure, I can. So the nuisance abatement law has been around for over 2 decades. It was designed to remove real property and motor vehicles mainly from being used to commit crimes.
Yeah.
So when we'll focus on vehicles for a minute. So when a vehicle is used to commit a crime, and there's a list of 22 predicate crimes that could result in a nuisance case being filed, not all crimes, but certain ones. If one of those predicate crimes is committed in a vehicle or by the use of a vehicle, a separate civil case can be filed against that vehicle. Now, the nuisance abatement ordinance in Denver is not a forfeiture law. It doesn't seek to seize your vehicle. It just seeks to close it for a period of time so you stop using it for criminal enterprises.
Oh, I understand that. And by the way, just to interject, I know you say it's not a seizure or forfeiture, but it ends up that way many times. Anyway, keep going.
Yeah, and with regard to vehicles, many times the person would choose to walk away from the vehicle. That does happen. I can't have any numbers in front of me as far as how many
or they
times
can't
it happens,
possibly pay. They can't possibly pay the fine or penalty. But all right.
So that was amended this year. So we did a big overhaul of the nuisance abatement ordinance earlier this year. I don't know if you're aware of that.
No, I'm not.
That took some of that into consideration, and so to your point, we were seeing some folks who, they might be driving a 1970 Pinto that wasn't really worth a whole lot, and so being faced with the fine, but also the tow and the storage fees was just outweighed the value of the vehicle, and so they chose to walk away. That said, under the old ordinance, they would still be liable, even though they chose to walk away from their vehicle, they would still be liable for a $2,000 litigation fee, which would come to haunt them.
And by the way, I just want to say this because we're running a little short on time, and it's up to you whether you want to, if I can do this on the other side of the hour. If not, I can schedule another time, and I'll stop discussing it. I won't be one-sided. But I just wanted to say going in, I don't think anyone in their right mind has a problem with you taking away tools for criminals. And tools of criminals. The only problem that I have with this law, and we can address it, is when someone who has nothing to do with the crime has their property seized, and that is a big problem for me and it's obvious they have nothing to do with it, and there have been cases that I kept track of where they had nothing to do with it, and they end up losing their stuff anyway. So what about that? I know you talk about the criminal, but what about someone who let his uncle borrow his car, and the uncle was some kind of a scofflaw failure to appear, and they took the kid's car? How do you make that connection?
We do have what's called an innocent owner provision in the ordinance, and so if you lend your car to your uncle and you have no idea that your uncle is for example, habitual traffic offender, you can show that hey, I wasn't driving, I didn't know my uncle was an HTO. We will take that into account, and either the DPD, Denver Police Department, won't file the case at all, and we never see it, or my attorneys will take a look at it, take a look at what you have to show, and we'll dismiss the case.
And not charge a fee.
Correct.
Good, because we have a case like that.
What happens if there's no charges brought against someone?
Well, that's got to be discussed when we have more time. Hold on if you want. And again, I won't go one-sided if you decide not to do it. I swear to you. We can do it another time and pick up the discussion, or hang on. I'm Tom Martino. We have more coming up on the Troubleshooter Show. 303-713-TALK, 303-713-8255. Please get your calls in. We're going to talk about this and more. If you've been hurt in an automobile accident,
so they had a rehaul, and they actually made it worse.
Here's the deal. No matter what they say, I have cases that I've kept track of.
Yeah, but they said they changed some shit, but according to what she just said, this guy shouldn't owe fucking a nickel if
That's not the changes they went to. The changes they actually...
No, but this guy didn't fucking... There was no crime. Right. If there was no crime, how do they take it?
They do. That's the part.
Well, I want her to say that, because I find that fucking crazy.
We're going to get to it.
Yeah, I think
I'll call her up.
They're scam artists.
We'll have to use the buzzer.
I'm serious. I think Denver's a crap town. I really do.
Tommy, they're going to hold.
Good. Thank you. Okay. Listen, nobody can be more fair than being honest. You know?
Yeah.
Listen, even if a hashtag doesn't exist on a Twitter,
you
can create it. Okay, good. And then
yeah. What? Say it, smart ass.
What was I going to say?
I don't know. It's all over your face. So.
I didn't know that either. I'm like, so
yeah,
you can just...
I can make a hashtag major family vacation, and then anytime someone searches major family vacation...
What else if it's already there?
Then it would be there, so let's say...
So there's no
donuts.
duplicates?
Are you still limited?
Don't they?
Because it's...
Yeah, Twitter is 100 and what characters...
That's almost like a website there.
So you're saying if I search... hashtag vacation, only one thing from one person comes up.
Could possibly come up. But hashtag vacation, you're going to get a bazillion different posts from a bazillion different
That's
people.
what I'm saying. So you can do any hashtag, even if it's I can do hashtag Jay-Z on anything I do.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's almost like putting a hashtag out there at your website.
People do like hashtag I hate Oklahoma and
I
Arkansas.
found
you
in
know,
my
it's-
tweets hardly ever. I try to. As you start typing the hash, suggestions come up, and if you can do the ones that are already established, you get better views than if you make up ones.
Shouldn't they have a time limit? Like it's only good for 6 months or something?
No, like Tom's hashtag consumer. Anybody who's posted something and did the hashtag consumer, you're going to see that post that they hashtag.
This is why I don't do Twitter.
Yeah.
Anything about it.
It's not about, it's an age thing, isn't it, Daniel?
No, it's
You're
I don't
too old
want,
for Twitter.
I don't want
He still dials his fucking phone like this.
You don't?
You're too old to
Yeah,
tweet.
with those number zeros in your phone number. Takes
No,
so long to go back.
You get a bunch of crap. Just like that, I put all my Facebooks go right to freaking spam.
Do you tweet, Shemansky? No? Do you Instagram? For your company or anything?
Yeah, so
You're a smart
we
man.
have one set up, but we're not really using it much. We're doing a lot more Facebook.
Yeah.
But we need to do that. Yeah.
People spend too damn much time on this.
Leave the fucking guy alone. He doesn't believe in white supremacy. He doesn't believe in that stuff.
They don't know what to do, dude. They're going to lose by so much. They have no idea what to do.
That's the only part I disagree. Not that I'm not telling you desire.
You don't have to. I'm just telling you. There's no way, dude. No one would vote for these
Then I'm
fucking
putting in
crazy.
writing. I'm putting in writing the dinner thing, so you know you will get it.
The average person is going to get so pissed off at this as, you know, I think. Now,
Mark,
Ted isn't the average.
Should we be concerned about this guy? I mean, tell me what he just recently
I'm talking to him tonight. It's just the bill he sent. I don't understand why I'm paying or we're paying this much. I just don't get it. I don't understand it. So I've got to really understand it. I've got to understand it. He just billed $3,900 for a month for the last 30 days.
What did he do?
The reason I moved from Juggernaut over to him was because I was sick of paying basically that, maybe even a little less a month. And he assured me it wouldn't be that way. And here we are, the second fucking month, and I'm right where we were.
Okay, thank you for being on top of it. Now, I'm going to start just researching. I'm going to talk to Blinker too. I want to know who their code monkeys are.
I bet, just like you said, they're all out of the country.
But we'll see.
But even if you've got a real presence here,
that's right. Okay.
That's the problem. I was going to fly out and meet this fucking guy until I found out it was a 26-hour flight. I can't fucking do that. I don't care. I don't give a shit. If I'm on an airplane for 26 hours, it's going to be bad when I get there.
Yeah, but the Troubleshooter Network was
Hey, we got a guy. We got a contact.
They like
Rod is too hard to get
like
hold of.
crap in the streets. I don't know if they have plumbing and shit. I don't know what I'm getting into. We'll send Shemansky.
That's easier to talk to.
You want to go to Bali?
What do you need it for?
We're talking about.
I don't know if Indian Air has fucking first class.
On contract.
I don't even know if you have a seat on Indian Air.
Or message me.
That's what I'm saying, man.
See, there's the
guy that you were going to.
It'll be like I've been on buses in Cancun. People got fucking chickens.
The guy,
literally, they're
that
holding
guy.
chickens on the city bus.
We're not gonna. We just have some general questions about the back end.
I'm like, I can't believe they allowed chickens on the bus.
Well, like you said, College Station,
yeah,
so they got their own seat.
I'm cheap, man, so I'm like, I can get an Uber to Walmart for $2 or take the bus for a nickel. Let's get on the bus, honey. Worst fucking decision of my life, man. And what's even funnier, you're staying. See, here's how stupid I am. I'm staying at a 5-star resort with a fucking butler, but I'm taking the bus for a fucking nickel over a $2 Uber. I don't know why I think stupid like that. Sometimes it just irritates me. Have you ever done that? You literally make the wrong decision because you're being cheap. I don't see you doing that though. Have you ever done that?
No. No. Excuse me. I've learned my lesson. In other words, driving to get around a toll booth, or I mean, that's an example.
I went through that example. I'd never take E470 out of pure spite that how much it was, it started costing me so much.
I had relatives who would drive 20 miles to avoid 25 cents.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Stupid ass.
I used to do that. I'm over that now. That was me. Until you spend 2 hours in traffic and realize, holy shit, I could be making a shitload of money.
Mark, the thing that really, where that came home to roost with me, is that I have a lot of ability to do almost anything around the house. Right? But
you could be cutting commercials making X amount.
Or whatever.
Compared to fucking tinkering with something.
Or just have peace of mind. Just have life. I mean, you know. Like, okay, this thing I'm doing.
No, private enjoyment is a shit. That's worth a lot.
Now, I decided the $4,000 was worth it for me to do this installation of that transponder on the helicopter, because there was a $4,000 spread from parts to installation.
So you did it yourself.
I'm doing it.
Yeah, but you also. But hold on, I'm going to disagree with you. That's right. That's enjoyment.
That's right.
That's you putting the GPS in the bus years ago.
That's right.
There's no difference.
Yes, right. We had a ball. I mean,
yeah, I know, but you love doing it.
Yeah.
So that's not a fair.
That's right.
The tolls were a perfect example.
Hello, Tom Martino here. This hour brought to you by Mark Trenner. Did you know if you think of something, an invention, you do not have to go and get an expensive search and know if you have the right deal or not. You don't. You can get a placeholder. It's a provisional patent. It says a provisional patent basically says if it's the first time you got it. If not, the worst that happens is you don't get the patent, but it puts you a place in line. Okay, Mark Trenner knows all of this. 720-221-3708, Trenner Law. He's on my referral list, referralist.com. Now, listen, we have open lines. You can call right in if you want. You can call about the discussion we're having on the nuisance abatement laws in Denver, or you can call to talk to Mark Szymanski from Genesis Total Exteriors, or you can do whatever. You can call about your problems, questions, and complaints. We have with us Marley Bordowski, okay, and she is the Director of Prosecution and Enforcement of Denver Nuisance Abatement Law. We were talking about it because I often rail on it, and as I said, I wanted to make that clear that I'm going into this with a bias. I just have heard from so many victims of the nuisance abatement laws where somebody borrowed a car, or I had one where this one I just looked up. The guy's at a liquor store, and I'm going to let Marley talk about this again. I'm not sneak attacking her. No one is against the true spirit of that law, and that is to take away the tools of the trade of a drug smuggler or outlaw or whatever. Okay, meth house. Now. I want to just give this case, and Marley, you're up, and Ryan, you're up. This is a case where a guy, it's payday, and he has his pickup truck. He and his friend pull into a liquor store. He goes in, the driver, the owner of the truck, goes in to buy liquor. While he's in there, the passenger in his truck is solicited by a policewoman, or he solicits a policewoman who is undercover as a prostitute, and the guy's arrested. He was sitting in the passenger seat of the truck. They impounded the truck and kept it. The guy could have gotten it back if he paid $2,500 or some amount, and never got the truck back because he couldn't afford it. So that is a case where this guy had nothing to do with it. But in fact, the guy, Corey, I believe his name was, somebody with the city said, it doesn't matter if you have anything to do with it. We have the right to take it. And what about that? That is what I have a problem with. Not with the spirit of the law as intended, but with a guy who went into a liquor store and his friend made an idiot move and the guy loses his truck. What do you say to that guy?
Well, Tom, I'll tell you, it's tough for us to weigh on a specific case without even knowing, the when, the who, the where, all of that.
I'm asking Marley, hold on. Is that a scenario where that truck could have been impounded?
It's possible, but that person would have had the innocent owner defense that we talked about.
Well, it wasn't. Either it wasn't in play then, or if it's in play now, we have a case right this minute where a guy took his car to be repaired at a backyard mechanic who had his license suspended, and the guy's Cadillac was impounded because this guy was driving on a suspended license. And right now, it's in the works right now. We have his name. We have all the details. Okay, so he said, this is my car that I took to be repaired. And they told him $1,500. So, Marley, now here is the worst part. The charges against the mechanic were dropped. So now we don't even have a criminal case. And somebody in your department said, it doesn't matter what the final adjudication is of the crime. In fact, if it was discharged or a mistaken identity, the civil case has no relation to the actual civil case. And criminal case are separate. And we had somebody call up yesterday, Mark, and talked as a private citizen saying, this is my friend, is this true? And he was told, yes, it is. Corey Nelson is who we talked to. So I want to know, how can you keep this car, one, when the guy was innocent, two, when the charges were dismissed, and his car is still in custody?
And
that's what I want.
They want $1,800.
I mean, no one has disagreements over chocolate chip cookie recipes. It's only when the chocolate chip cookie recipe violates somebody's rights. So we can talk about the good part of the nuisance abatement law, but there's no reason to, because people are getting hurt by it. Okay, you guys have the mic.
There are a lot of moving parts to this.
That's right, Ryan. You would be doing a story about this at Channel 7, by the way.
Well, not necessarily, because you got to realize, Tom. I mean, there are. First off, we understand people's frustrations with any sort of law that's on the books, ordinance that's on the books, and as Marley mentioned before the break, I mean, we make it a point. The city makes it a point to amend this ordinance when we hear those frustrations. You know, every case is going to be different. We can't template all right, let's take this case.
Okay, then fine. Then let's take this specific case. Then we'll give you the name. We'll give you everything you need, and we
can't litigate a case here on the air.
No, we won't do it on the air. We're going to find out why he can't get his car after the case against the guy was dismissed. And it wasn't even this guy who had the charges against him. We're going to find out. We're going to find out in living reality how Corey takes care of this, since I'm hearing from his boss or from somebody who's in charge, because that's not what he is saying to people who call him. And what about the guy with the pickup truck at the liquor store? Those charges were dropped too, but he lost his truck. So listen, I'm not trying to put you on the spot. I told you from the very beginning how I felt about this law. It has nothing to do with the proper execution of this law. It has to do with the innocent people that are rolled over by it. And Ryan, no matter what you say, there is no justification for keeping someone's property that was not involved at all. But isn't it true that the civil case and the criminal case are two separate entities, and the adjudication of the criminal case has no bearing on the civil case? Is that true or not? Or did Corey speak out of school?
May I? So they are two separate cases, Tom. One is a criminal case, which has a higher burden of proof. As you know, it's beyond a reasonable doubt. A civil case has a lower burden of proof, which is a preponderance of the evidence. Do we take into account what happens on the criminal case? It depends on the case. I can tell you right now, I'm looking at one case that it was also assigned to the same attorney the criminal case was dismissed, and he made the decision to dismiss the civil case. Does it happen all the time? Not necessarily. It depends on the underlying case. So they are two separate processes, two separate proceedings.
But if the whole spirit of the law is to take away tools in a crime and there is no crime, I don't understand how now you revert to the civil part.
Here's a scenario, Tom. you've got a person who's eluding police and jeopardizing the public, okay? This is just, we see this all the time. So
yeah.
we've got the car on Halo camera. We can get the license plate. We can get the make and model, the color of the car. We can't ID the driver of the car, but we know that that car was used to elude the police. Can we file a criminal case on anybody? Probably not, because we can't ID the driver. But we do know the car was used to commit a very dangerous crime.
And if it wasn't reported stolen, I have no problem with that. If that was the case, I have no problem. I don't think anybody would. I mean, it was used it was used, and it was in a crime, or if it was held as evidence because it mowed down pedestrians and you can't tell who was driving, or you're investigating it. I understand that. No one is being unreasonable here. You know, that's a good case you brought up, where the car should be impounded pending investigation. Absolutely. But what about when you know this guy took his car to be repaired? He has no relationship with this guy, and the charges are dismissed against.
Tom, we don't. So think about this. That process has to exist. There has to be a process with any form of ordinance or law that says, okay, if this, then that. Our process is, as Marley explained, you have a criminal process and a civil process. In the civil side of the process, if somebody says, listen, this was not me, this was, this vehicle belongs to me, this guy was separate from me, or whatever the case may be, that's why that process is there. If we didn't have that process, we just skipped it, we couldn't even have this ordinance, essentially.
I'm not asking anybody to skip it. We're not asking anybody to skip it. What we're saying is it wasn't skipped. Corey decided he's keeping that car anyway. So, I mean, it wasn't skipped. Nobody's accusing you of skipping anything. What I'm saying is, I'll bet you, I'd like to look at your budget. I'd like to see how much it grosses in a year in personal property and or the extortion fees. That's what I'd like to see.
Let me tell you, Tom. I mean, I've reported on civil forfeiture when I used to work. I worked in journalism for 15 years, as you know.
This isn't forfeiture. This isn't. And I've worked for 45 years.
I understand.
So let's compare.
Sure.
Yeah.
I understand that. No, but talk about, look at there is no money incentive for this ordinance. There never has been, right? In other jurisdictions.
Well, I mean, I'm not making that declaration. You are, okay? I mean, fine.
Well, that's what you're getting at.
Well, that's exactly what I'm getting at. But to say that there isn't, that hasn't been determined by me. I mean, I can easily see. Let me see the books. We'll see. Let's see what the gross revenue is of fees and or property seized and sold, or the value of the property. Let's see. That's an easy story. If it's $100, I'm going to go with you, Ryan. I'm going to go with you. Let's let the numbers talk. See, and I'm not even a journalism with a capital J. I'm not a journalist. I'm just somebody who wants to help people. That's all. So can we get those numbers? I know we can. It's absolutely open.
Public record.
Yeah, we'll just have to make an open record request, or you could voluntarily let us see, and it's up to you. We'll do whatever it takes. I just wanted to know, what do people do listening right now who have been the victim or are the victim of this? What do they do if they're an innocent victim? Just tell me what the process is. Let's do it that way.
Do they still pay for anything?
What they do is they contact the attorney assigned to the case.
Corey usually, yeah.
There's several attorneys that handle these cases, Tom. What they do
Who handles most of them? Who handles most of them?
I have 2 attorneys assigned to vehicles who handle half of the caseload each.
Okay. And that's Corey and who else?
Mike.
So they would contact... Did they contact either one of those, or you, or what office do they call?
All of the paper, when a car is impounded and a civil case is filed against it, all of that contact information is on the paperwork.
Okay.
The steps are made clear to them.
Okay.
And they also are told if they contact the impound facility, the impound facility gives them the contact information too. So they would contact either Mike or Corey or whoever other attorneys assigned to the case. They give them meet with them or talk to them on the phone and explain to them the circumstances. And I have one case in my hand right now that Corey dismissed for that very reason this week. So it happens all the time, and it's not impossible for people to.
Mark, do you have a question?
Yeah, in a case like you just discussed, I mean, there was still an impound fee. I mean, was there or wasn't there?
All fees, no. All
Everything's
fees were
gone.
paid.
That's great.
Everything's gone.
That's great. So if you're innocent and you don't have anything to do with the crime or the crime's dismissed, that's who we're interested in.
What Corey told me about this particular case yesterday, and I talked to him, well, listen, here's what he told me. He said because it wasn't a real mechanic that had a license, that this guy should have, he was saying this guy should have known not to have him work on the car. I mean, that seems absurd.
It's a stretch, but again, you know, that's the problem with making part of it civil and part of it criminal. Because being civil, they can be like that. They can give a lot of subjective information here because it's civil. She said the burden of proof is less.
Yeah, but if the attorneys use common sense, like in this case, unless there's something we don't know, they should give the guy his car back.
No. See, it's not innocent until proven guilty with the civil case. It's if we want it, we keep it. Now, listen, guys. You know, so far I don't hear any compelling. I mean, I've heard her say there are innocent provisions for innocence. Who decides the innocence? Not a judge. You see that? When she said innocent, because the criminal case already dismissed. So who decides if it's innocent? Not the criminal case. They do. So they do everything in-house. You know, I'm fucking ashamed of this Ryan Luby. I'm fucking ashamed of him.
And I'll bet you they have
I have a spot here, right?
How much did they get for the city?
On the approach, you got a crash or a stall blocking that far right lane. There's a semi there that's kind of crowding that right lane, causing some curiosity delays. So just travel through that area with caution. Back in town, got a wreck.
Guess who's up? Joe Lazara with his spot. We have a spot for him.
There, watch out for that. And crash off highway being cleared in San Jose and Florida.
I know, that's weird, but it could be because of this too now. So I've been talking so much.
Early, then partly cloudy overnight, a low around 63.
And we don't have to keep them. I mean,
Did you,
we don't have to keep them.
I sent you one. I think I copied you, and it was a pretty big job. They were redoing like an old house.
She wasn't
well,
sure
I know, honey, they suck. They don't know.
Did you go out there?
I told her to get me drawings first.
Okay.
She had an architect friend in Boulder.
Hold on a sec. Just hold on one sec. Hold on.
You're looking good.
Joseph A. Lazara, if you're accused of a crime, you are innocent until proven guilty. Now, Joe Lazara handles DUIs, which I consider a stupid charge. You get a designated driver. Use Uber or Lyft. But you know what? Joe is not going to preach to you like I do. He's going to represent you. Joe Lazara, 303-429-6200. That's his phone number, Joe Lazara, 303-429-6200. Or LazaraLegal.com. That's LazaraLegal.com.
If you're running a room,
can I run to your restaurant?
Big and small. What I mean by big and small.
I talked to her a long time. So, and she had a
just letting you know.
architect friend.
Ryan thought that was a hit
friend.
job.
Oh, Ryan.
Hit.
He's a turncoat. He was
I
a
told
journalist,
Tom,
an investigative journalist, and then he goes to this.
I just told Tom, I said, Ryan feels like that was a hit job on him.
Well, he's a turncoat. He is a turncoat.
So, but I did have a guy call and said, these two sound like idiots. Thank God Tom is talking to them and exposing them for what they are.
He came out stumbling right after the first. He literally stumbled. That's when I told him to make sure we have it.
Oh, you shouldn't take it to that mechanic then. How he used that as basis to make that decision. That's.
Well, when I talked to this Corey guy, I'm telling you, this guy was like, you know.
Was he a dick?
No, he wasn't a dick at all. His logic was crazy. You know, this mechanic, here's what he said, and there is a little bit of truth to this, but it has nothing to do with this guy. That's the whole problem. Well, someone was driving that car around that didn't have insurance or a license. If he ran over your kid on accident, no insurance company would pay anything, and there'd be nothing done, and it would ruin the lives of many people. So we have to get this vehicle off the road so it doesn't happen again. This guy let someone without a license and blah, blah, blah drive his car. Well, he didn't knowingly do that. If they have proof he knowingly let someone do it, I'd even understand it.
Yeah, but if I told you I didn't knowingly speed, babe, I didn't know what the speed limit was.
That's different.
Well, that's different, yeah. Ignorance of the law is no excuse.
But yeah, okay, I see.
It's not reasonable to say that when you bring your car to an auto mechanic, you go out into the shop and ask every fucking technician for their license. It's not reasonable. It doesn't happen.
He said it was a hit job.
I think he's only pissed that basically you said if you were still in the news, you'd fucking do a story on it.
I would like to see
That's the only thing I
of his old,
Listen, I need that whole segment, or that whole part of the show.
I already told him I wanted it as
I'm
a
going to edit
best
it. I want to edit because I want to, but I want to put it on social. I just need to edit some of the audio in between the commercials.
Yeah. No. I want the full, well, yeah. Just send it to us, like I said. Yeah, I don't care what you do with it. When I do a best of, I keep it intact.
He wants the whole segment intact, okay? And I'll take...
He knows.
Good
I'll send you the whole thing. You do whatever you want with yours.
It's time to never paint your home again with Rhino Shield. It doesn't crack, peel, or chip.
I'd like to get some of his old articles and see how he goes in there and see.
Transferable warranty, and Rhino Shield does it all from prep to cleanup. Call 844-GO-RHINO or visit rhinoshieldcolorado.com.
I'll bet you the Denver Post doesn't put anything on this either because they're so tied in with the politics.
This sounds like you. You've got to give Online Trading Academy a call.
You know, this is really a long...
Oh, it is possible that guy wasn't telling us everything.
No one is going to care more about your money than you do. First step.
So did that Corey pull up that case, and so he's seen everything on that case? So he couldn't offer any other issues with it?
Say it again.
Well, that guy, was he telling the whole story? Not Corey, but what was his name, David, or I can't even think what his name was, with the Cadillac.
No, he didn't say he wasn't telling the same story.
So the story, it wasn't like he was leaving stuff out, and hey, you know, this is...
No, the guy portrayed, the only thing I thought the guy, and I don't think he did it on purpose, he didn't explain to us, it wasn't a real
Hi, Tom
shot.
Martino here, 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. ApprovalReverse.com, the mortgage company for reverse mortgages. You can trust them. ApprovalReverse.com, 303-771-3528. Okay, if you just tuned in or you heard... You got to listen to the podcast. I was very upfront. I told them I'm against this. I don't want to do a sneak attack. I think it sucks. I was very, very clear, okay? I let them explain what could happen for this innocent thing, this innocent provision, but it doesn't happen. Well, she did quote some times when it happened. I forgive me. She said 8 times. No, I don't know. 8. Well, she did say some. I imagine that from time to time, it does happen. Now, here's what I'm going to predict. I'm putting myself out on a limb. That they gross tons of money doing this. I'm going to do an open records request. And the ones who are deemed innocent, I'm going to go out on a limb, are white, middle-class Americans. I'm telling you that I am putting myself out on a limb, and I will chastise myself if I'm wrong. Now, I'm hoping they're not going to go altering records, but the ones that actually got their stuff back, I'm going to go so forward as to say they're not of minority persuasion, and that they're probably middle-class white. Now, I'm saying that, or actually they have money and they're white. Now, and I'm going to tell you that I'm going to predict they're making a ton of money doing this in fees and in actual seizures. They say it's not a forfeiture, but it is. I mean, I don't care what you call it. It is what it is. I can give you a slew of people who have lost their property never to get it back, and the city has profited. And anyone hearing that interview, did you even hear this part? That when someone is innocent, well, hold on a second. They've already been ruled innocent for the underlying crime. See, the whole idea was to take tools away from criminals, right? If it's not a criminal, if he's not guilty, she said, but wait, there's also a civil case. So it's not just taking tools away from a criminal. It's giving you the right to do a civil case. But here is the point that I want to make. Who decides they're innocent? It's already been established that the criminal judge, the judge in the criminal case, does not establish innocence for the city's view. So who does? The city. She said Corey decided he was innocent and returned the property. Did you hear that? Corey decided. So the city is taking your property, and they alone are deciding if you get it back. I hope people hear this. My God, I can't believe I'm the only voice. This is amazing. You got people at Channel 9 are doing stories about crap, and Channel 4 and High School Journalism Fox. I mean, you have like crap. Meanwhile, property around you is being seized from innocent people. I have no problem with enforcing the nuisance abatement law for real cases of criminal activity. Keith, what's happening? 303-713-TALK is our number. Go ahead, Keith.
Hey, Tom. I am so enraged at the behavior of this city. You know, no one mentioned, and of course it's not your fault, it's this woman never mentioned the fact that they want to give, they think that they've made these people whole by saying that they've exonerated them and they've gotten their property back. But how long does it take them to do that? How many months do they have to sit there without their vehicle?
That's right.
Without the property?
That's right.
This is crap. Do you know that in the United States alone, there's $4 billion seized, and of that $4 billion, $3.2 billion is never connected to any illegal activity, yet it's all kept.
Yep.
I mean, these people are disgusting. This is fascism.
Well, you know what? Denver loves their law. In fact, Mark, when you talk to the guy, I want you to tell me how that conversation went, because you never promised the guy it was in confidence. You called.
No, I said I gave my real name. I said I'm helping this guy out and gave the caller's real name.
We're going to talk. You wait till you hear the attitude.
What are other cities like in Denver?
I asked the guy that. I said, hey, does Aurora and other cities around have the same law?
He was proud that they were the only ones that had this strict of a law.
Traveling up in the high country, watch out for stalled out semis.
Fix it long. Fix it long. I did one thing I won't do is submarine people on the air. I will not bait them in. I don't do it.
You should.
Real rip-offs. Who gives a shit?
No, but I'm talking about when I get somebody on as a guest, Mark. You know I never do that.
I'll bet you those two attorneys have objectives on how much they collect on that nuisance law.
Like the speeding laws.
Yeah.
Oh no, there's no quotas.
Do it right.
Yeah, right. There's no quotas, right?
Eligible purchases every day just by using your Lowe's.
See, it's so absurd that people don't believe it. See, they
you're
think
right.
I'm exaggerating.
That's exactly right.
Like Mark thought so. He really did. He said, nah, they don't do that. Let's talk about Fix It 24/7. If you have a house, you need to know about them for plumbing, heating, cooling, electric, and drains. Why? Because they will come and find any problem with any one of those systems for just $39. That's to find any problem. It's defined, and you'll get a written report on exactly what's wrong. So you can shop if you want, or you can have them do the work, and I can tell you from first-hand experience, you'll never get better value. You know, there are a lot of good companies out there, but if Fix It's there, let them do the work, and they apply the $39 so you don't pay it twice. FixMyHome.com, 720-526-3939. Now, one thing I want to say is they have free second opinions. Now, that $39 doesn't even apply for that. That's free if somebody tells you you need a furnace or a panel change out or a water heater, free second opinion. So either they can beat it or you got a great deal. 720-526-3939. 720-526-3939.
Adults who have crooked teeth and always wanted to deal with them. There is a way.
You know what's kind of funny is the cities that are the most corrupt in the world.
They're all Democratic.
Yes.
It's true, every fucking one of them.
The top 10
The most corruption.
Have been
How about the mayor
Democratic
that had crack in his fucking freezer and $1 million they raided, or $100 grand?
Washington, D.C.
Orthodontics and TMJ 303
But it's just,
0100 303
it's really their license to steal. The top 10 worst cities have been run by Democrats for at least 30 years. Yeah.
Where's the one guy went to jail? Was it Washington?
Yeah, and then he come back and become a mayor, right?
They fucking voted him right back in.
Yeah.
Even after.
It was, what was his name?
He was a crackhead.
Yes, he was.
He was literally a crackhead.
Well, so is Reverend...
Lyndon Barry. Barry? Isn't that the name? Something Barry?
Yeah, it's something.
How did you remember that?
It just hit me. It was.
It is Barry. It is Barry.
Barry Mayer?
Yeah, but... Yeah.
It's not Lyndon, though, is it? Marion. Marion Barry. There you go.
God, I'm very
He looks like a crackhead.
Jesus. Was he your hero?
Can you believe it, though?
Reverend Al Sharpton used to be a crackhead.
No.
Oh, yeah, he was an FBI foreman.
Are you shitting me?
Yeah.
No, not really.
At least he informed. Don't you remember they called him a rat? Somebody called him a rat and said, "I'm not a rat."
The FBI arrested him on drug charges. The arrest and subsequent my brain's not working. Subsequential trial. Seeking re-election, he served 6 months in a federal prison. He was then elected to the Council of the District of Columbia in 1992. He was then elected again as mayor in 1994. That's crazy.
Financing available 303-421-7100 for details. Get an appointment khwindows.com. And remember, for windows, siding, doors, and more.
Al Sharpton worked for a joint FBI NYPD crime task force.
Centeno Schultz is the stem cell clinic that I recommend for true living stem cell therapy. If you are looking for a stem cell clinic, go to Dr. Chris Centeno and his team. He's the first one to do stem cell treatment in a clinical setting in the entire country. You can find out more at their website, avoidsurgerytoday.com. Don't accept any chiropractic clinics or medical clinics where amniotic fluid or umbilical cord is used. It is not living stem cells. You will not get living stem cells unless they are extracted at the time of the treatment. I can't emphasize that enough. People are wasting money all over the metro area on lying, cheating ripoffs. If you're looking for true living stem cell therapy, Centeno Schultz. And ask about their weekly seminars, 303-963-9201.
Exposed edges
Exposed edges.
And flashing, missing. What else is wrong with Mark? This person wants to know. Mark? In addition,
I'm sorry.
In addition to missing edges or exposed edges and flashing, what are some other problems? Hi, Tom Martino, your troubleshooter, 303-713-TALK. So we talked about the Denver nuisance abatement law with the city, and I want you to hear it. I want you to go back and hear it on a podcast or react to it. Again, it's amazing if we were talking about somebody refused service at Starbucks, it would be major news. But every day the city of Denver is stealing property from innocent individuals. Maybe not every day, but often.
Maybe you do a good video. We'll put up the audio as well, and let's send it out to every resident in Denver via Facebook. Let's hit millions of them.
People just, it's too bad in today's day of social media and mommy news, mommy soccer news on TV, we have real issues being ignored. Yep. Real issues being ignored. It's a damn shame. It really is. So, Mark called Corey Nelson, is it, about Denver nuisance abatement law and pretended to be a friend. Tell us about the conversation.
I didn't pretend to be a friend. I said, hey, I'm trying to help this guy out.
Whatever,
I just never mentioned the show. That was all.
Right.
You know, the biggest thing that struck me is how proud he was of it. I said, does Aurora and other places have this this ordinance? And the answer was, well, not many places around the country have them, and none of them are as nearly as tough as ours. So he was pretty impressed with himself and how great the
But you asked questions, and you were shocked by the answer.
I was kind of, I found it hard to believe. You drug me through this one. I'll give you credit.
Right. And so some of the things he said, well, he said it wasn't a forfeiture law either.
No, he at one point used the analogy of, I don't know, man. I got to go back. You know me. I record every conversation. Right. I got to go back and listen to it. But it was something like, I want to say he used some analogy of domestic violence at one point. It was pretty weird. Oh, he did. He said a restraining order. He's like when you get a temporary restraining order. There is no trial yet.
The city of Denver isn't saying you're guilty for doing something wrong, but just in case they want to protect a person with a temporary restraining order.
Now, and
that was his big announcement.
I don't even have a problem with temporary seizure of property. Okay, yeah, take the property. But then, when you know someone isn't involved, why do you keep their property, or why do you charge them a fee? Or when the underlying case is dismissed completely.
He was kind of alluding to that our caller was a moron for dropping it off not like at a Goodyear or Firestone or an actual business, but at somebody's house. And he should have known that they didn't have insurance. He should have known this wasn't the right thing to do.
303-713-TALK is our phone number. 303-713-8255. Now, I don't want to come down too hard on Darryl Luby. He was doing his job. Ryan Luby. Sorry, Darryl is another guy from years ago. Ryan Luby is doing his job. He's a PIO. He's doing his job. Listen.
What did he do before? You mentioned.
He was an investigative reporter on Channel 7 doing quite a good job. We had him on the air, Mark. He did a story about doctors practicing without a license, or license suspended. He did a great job. Okay, you want to hear something funny? I was trying to get a hold of journalists to tell them about the nuisance abatement law and yet another victim. Now, Patty Dennis is no longer at Channel 9, but I had her number, texted her. Did not get the courtesy of even a okay, or I asked who can I speak to there that would actually take a serious look at this nuisance abatement law. No one. Left a message for Brian Moss. Nothing. Zero. And okay, Brian, if you're listening, I didn't do it on your own personal cell. Okay, I didn't text you. Maybe I should have. The other one is, I left a message with, I was writing an email to guess who? I didn't realize Ryan had gotten out of the business. And I have a draft I was writing to him. Ryan, maybe you might want to take a look at this. But they won't. Okay? Here's why. And I hope you guys can see this. When you turn on your news at night, you don't hear news. You see features. Now, if there's a crash or a fire, yeah, you're going to see that stuff. But they have to fill it, and you don't see real news. I challenge you to take that and find something that is not a feature. That's something you need to know, or something they dug up. Now, I'm not going to tell you they never do it. I mean, Channel 9 does some really good stuff. Channel 7 does some good stuff. Brian, yeah, they all do, except high school journalism, Fox 31. But the other three, yeah, they do it from time to time. But really, you should demand more. And what's funny is that they diss me because I do radio and give opinions. I give opinions, but I probably am more fair in gathering information than a so-called real journalist. The idea, I think it's disingenuous to say that you're objective. Because no one is.
You told me a story. You went out, you were sent out on assignment, I thought you said by Fox, and you were convinced it was going to be one way.
No, that was Channel 4, Mission Viejo.
Yeah, Mission Viejo. When you came back with the facts, they killed it.
It was about foundations. They wanted to tell a story that people were pissed off at Mission Viejo, the evil developer, and they were displacing people and all of that, and the people couldn't have been happier with them. They loved them. Yes, there were some basements, some bentonite problems, but they were handling it. They were putting up people. Now, to Channel 4's defense, what they're saying is, you don't go out to an airport and do a live shot on the safe landings today. Okay, let's go live now to Tom Martino at Denver International Airport. Tom, I understand there were 2,000 landings today without incident? Yes, sir, there was. There were. These planes, and as you can see behind me, there goes another one. Just touched down, no incident. I mean, you're not going to see that report. So, obviously, when I went out and didn't find a problem. But what I don't like is when it's misconstrued. And I always go back to the summer of love they wanted to portray when the Pope came to town. when I found a lot of lying, cheating ripoffs taking advantage of people with fake memorabilia and pickpockets and a lot of stuff, they wouldn't do the story because it didn't fit into their summer of love, you know, the nonviolent, beautiful youth summer. It just didn't fit. So that's what I mean by editing. It is sometimes done by leaving stuff out. 303-713-TALK. And you know what I love? No one can tell me it's not true because I worked it. 20 years. Well, before Denver, I was in television in Schenectady, WRGB, WBBH in Fort Myers, WRAL in Raleigh, then KCNC here. It was KOA-TV, then KCNC, and then Fox. So you can't tell me it didn't happen. It did happen. Hey, Doug, you have a question about window insulation, and give us your question, and I'll let Mark Szymanski at Genesis take a stab at it, and we will too. What is your question?
Okay, Tom, thank you. I bought a house here in Genesee a couple months back, and before we moved in, the previous owners had windows replaced and other things replaced from hail damage. We have a carpenter here now, and he's pulling off some boards around the windows.
Yeah.
And he showed us that the new windows were, and to put them in, they just cut the old flashing around.
They're called wings, okay? Hold on a second. Let's talk about it. Just hang on. 303-713-8255.
This report is sponsored by Exxon and Mobil's new Synergy.
What? To hit Denver Facebook people on that. I think that would get everybody I've talked to, and I've told them.
It all comes in.
And nobody believed it.
The video would have to be under a minute.
Nobody would believe it.
Would believe what?
The nuisance law. When I tell people who live in Denver about it, they well, yeah, right, they can do that.
That's what I'm saying. People don't.
Well, no one thinks it's going to happen to me.
Because it sounds unbelievable.
No, it's never happened to me. But people in general, it's not going to happen to me, so I don't care.
That's true, too.
But if they know that's out there, that you can get stopped without...
Right. Weather forecast. It's going to be a chance of afternoon storms, a high near 93. Right now, cloudy and 80. With your traffic and weather, I'm Pete Wagner, 630 K-How.
Exxon and Mobil's new Synergy Supreme Plus Premium Gasoline.
What do you think those 22 incidents that they could take it from? She said there's 22 different crimes or whatever can be in there.
Or go to Exxon.com for more details.
She said did she say that? There's 22?
So there's 22.
Okay, let's talk about crackerjackmudjacking.com. Here's the short message. Contact them if you have any concrete problems before you tear it out and haul it away, because you may be able to fix it. They do mudjacking. It's supporting concrete from underneath, which magically can cure the cracking, bring them together, lift up sinking concrete, and even lower some other areas by lifting some other areas. It's just magical, as I say. crackerjackmudjacking.com. Save me 12 grand. That's right. 303-410-7787. 410-7787.
Everyone knows you need the right tool for the job. It's the difference between orders filled and
man, I couldn't believe how they fixed my apron and all that. It was great. Pretty cool. So they cut off the wings. That's not uncommon because they don't want to go behind the siding.
You can even order the windows without them.
I know. And he's calling it flashing, but it's not. And people, you'd be surprised how many stupid home improvement contractors say you don't have, because they just want to drum up the bill. They say you don't have any wings on these. Wings are just made.
Right, to install the window.
Yeah.
You can still insulate around it.
You can still do everything.
Right.
I mean, one thing is though, it prevents drilling through the frame, right? I mean, if you do it on the wing, right?
Right. Yeah, because then you're drilling out the side of the frame. You got the little plugs to put in.
Yeah. Do you like wings or not?
Well, you know what? Again, if the trim around the window, let's say it's a sided house.
You can't. Dad, you don't want that. You'd have to tuck them in. You can't.
Right, but if you're pulling that board around the window, then yeah, I like to do that. So.
How big aren't they?
Like that.
Oh, okay.
Into two. So. So and then you can tape them.
Yeah, I take it every day, and it helps me feel lighter and ready to take on the world. So if you feel sluggish, it might just be your digestive system not working like it could. So try it for yourself, and then tell everyone you know.
I actually do read his emails now and then.
Feel what lighter feels like.
Ideal Home Loans for your next ideal home loan. You've heard me say that before because they have programs made for you, and they will pick a loan program right for you.
So they speak after Trump visited. So what did he say? What did he do wrong?
It was damned if he did, damned if he didn't. Beto O'Rourke, I'd like to just punch that guy right in the face.
What did he do wrong?
He's polling at zero. He's got to do something.
Who do? Trump?
Yeah, what did he do wrong this time?
No, Beto.
No. What Trump did, they didn't want him there. Beto O'Rourke said, "Stay out of my city." He's from El Paso.
And if he didn't go, they'd say he wouldn't even go mourn with the
Don't
country.
tell the president to stay out of your city.
That's what he said. Beto O'Rourke did. He's the most of the Democratic I'd like the most punched in the face.
I don't like that Elizabeth, man. She seems so angry.
Oh, she is. That's why she's not going to get it.
She is so mad all the time.
All of them are. They're all mad.
I'd like to see Hillary run again.
She could probably beat him.
I think so.
Biden, they might be arresting his brother. He was in the scam. Yeah.
He looks tired.
Oh, Biden. I don't think he drops out of a lot of them, gets in and drops out and stuff. He doesn't have the tenacity or the.
Support me 303. 3
So they complained about Trump because he said Toledo instead of Dayton, Ohio. Biden said Houston and Cincinnati, I think, or Houston.
You don't hear that.
God, it's amazing how unfair the
Oh,
coverage is.
really is.
And they don't even see it.
Oh, they see it. I think they see it. Like Ted, he just overdoes it, or he said, "Oh, I didn't know."
Have you seen Loudest Voice in the Room? It's a mini-series about
You've talked about it.
About Roger Ailes starting Fox.
He's a genius.
He was a prick as far as women goes. But, when you look at the news and what he did, he had some really good ideas. Really good.
He got the other side, right?
The part I didn't like, but everybody does it, he advocated for his side.
This is the most unbelievable offer I've ever heard from
where
a
people
transmission shop.
advocate, CNN will say they're not biased.
It's amazing how the local news has changed. There's no business person anymore. Remember, you used to have a business section?
There's nothing. Local news sucks.
It's the news and it's the weather and the sports.
Yeah, they do a good job with sports.
They got the weather and where the traffic's at.
But truly, I want to know what stories you see that, Hi, Tom Martino here. We're going to talk about those windows and those wings in a minute here. Mark has a quick comment on the nuisance abatement law in Denver. We had officials on talking about it, and you should listen to it in the podcast. And we're also live on Facebook, live on YouTube, and our videos are archived here. Hey, go ahead, Mark. What's your comment?
Hey, Tom, I can't believe there isn't more outrage about this, and I'm so glad you bring it up.
I know.
You can go down to the Denver County Court any given day, and you see people sitting there who have been ticketed without insurance, registration, licenses suspended, and they walk with nothing more than a slap on the wrist.
Oh, yeah,
and
sure.
Yet Denver is now going to take this one car and impound it. This behavior of the city is nothing short of criminal. These people are disgusting.
That's what I feel.
They're protecting the public when this is nothing more than an unconstitutional revenue generator. How do you have a case filed against an inanimate object? Like, how do you file a case against a car? How does a car defend itself?
But even if you go along with that, and I do, let's just say, hey, we think this was used in a crime. Once you find out it's not owned by the criminal, that the guy who owned it didn't know the criminal, or he happened to be an innocent dupe, or why do you still keep it? And then the worst part, here's the worst part, Mark. This one with the liquor store, the guy sitting there, his friend solicits a prostitute while he's in the liquor store. When he comes out, that friend was found, it was discharged. The charges were dropped, I should say. The charges were dropped. So now you have no criminal case. They still kept the truck.
Exactly, because they file a case against an inanimate object. And this is so egregious. It infuriates me, and I can't believe that you've only had one other caller on.
No, people. You know what, Mark? Again, that's our day. That's quick sound bites and Facebook and Twitter. That's right. It's unfortunate. It is unfortunate. Doug, okay. There's nothing wrong with taking those wings off a window. Mark Szymanski, Genesis, tell him.
That's correct. But I guess I'd like to hear more what you're saying.
What is wrong with the window other than that?
Nothing.
Okay. You were just concerned that they took the wings off to install it.
Right.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that as long as they're insulated.
As long as they are installed properly. Why did your builder or your whatever handyman bring that up? What did he think was wrong with it, or she think was wrong with it?
He said that the old wings were just cut, and then left on the wall around the window.
Oh, you mean the old ones? Okay.
And then the gap range is about eighth, quarter inch all the way around open. You can see all the way back in.
But they didn't. Then they didn't insulate it.
No.
Well, then that's different. If they didn't insulate around it or foam spray,
put the foam spray is the easiest thing to do.
Just go ahead and you're going to have that done, right?
Well, if that's what I need to do, I'll have it done.
You don't have any recourse against the guy. The people who put those windows in did not do them for you. You don't have any recourse against them. But I just hope that here's the deal: if they put them on without the wings, you can order them without wings if you want, right?
Yeah. No, you can.
Yeah. So they could have done that. But what I don't understand is why they left the gap. So in other words, when you took the trim off the outside and the trim off the inside, you could see daylight?
I could see from the outside into the 3 or 4 inches into the house.
Okay, so that needs to get filled up.
That needs to be filled. So you couldn't see all the way through it, but you could see enough. That you don't want cold air getting in there. I agree with you. That should have been done better. But that's a cheap fix. Now, why was the trim off anyway? Why was the exterior? Was he doing siding?
Yeah, we're having some. We've still got some hail damage on some wood siding that we want to replace. So they're pulling off the siding.
Well, it's a good idea then that you go around and make sure there's foam in there. Is that what you would use?
That's correct. Yeah, the spray, or you can shove insulation too. You can do it either way. But then you should also tape it to keep moisture out. So
303-713-8255. Suzanne, should I take anyone or not? It doesn't matter. No? Okay. We have our lines open. You can get right through. Whether you want to talk about your problem, question or complaint, or the nuisance abatement law, I do have this email we were talking about we never got to. So other than with problems with stucco, if that doesn't have flashing, it'll get wet rot behind it. Exposed edges can absorb water. What else? What other?
Just even the flashing, there's something called a kick-out, like when a roof is running next to the stucco wall. And again, this is flashing, but it's called a kick-out, and you have that water divert away from the wall of the stucco. We see more problems there than anywhere. And you should also embed a piece of metal in the stucco right there next to the roof.
Okay. And are there any other problems, like with the surface treatment? Anything there? No, that's all pretty easy, pretty common. But most of the problems then are with the flashing and with the absorbing of water.
You bet.
Okay. We have more coming up on the Troubleshooter Show, the only show where you will hear these issues discussed and attacked and problems solved. I'm Tom Martino, 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. Stick around. Don't forget, referralist.com.
Hey, Don, we're on a commercial. Please hold, and we'll talk about it when I come back, okay? All right, man. Thanks.
Hit the head again. I don't know what the hell's wrong with me.
Ugh.
Okay, Mark, I'm going to keep on you that you do this Facebook push. I think that's a great fucking idea on a nuisance law.
What?
I think that's a great push if you got that.
Didn't hear you.
On the nuisance law, if you do that Facebook push.
What are you talking about?
See what we got to deal with here, Mark? Is it the name, Mark, that does this?
I'm sorry.
Someone, it looks like, found the revenue. Let's look. Is it possible? Dave, I'm looking. Did you find the revenue? Time will tell. Here we go. Sales of use tax.
Oh, you did that.
22 revenue.
So what do they do? Put this stuff to auction?
I imagine once they impound it, if they're not going to do the fees, they probably have to.
Oh, it sits there before it's auction.
They don't have their own lot, do they? Denver? So is that a third party? I'll bet you there's a lot of underhanded right there. Is to be the code person or the impound lot for the city.
Yeah. How much does those people get in
kickbacks? Yeah, I agree.
So.
Mark.
Of course, when you have a mayor like what's his name there, I mean nothing's going to get solved. I mean,
Just wrapping up a visit to Ohio, meeting with some survivors and first responders of the mass shooting Sunday that killed 9 people outside of Dayton.
I don't see that as a line number.
Oh, they got.
Hey, Dave, I don't see that as any kind of line. I have no idea. I have no idea where they're putting that income. So if you know, email me, bro.
Looks like I looked at it like I thought it was
El Paso, where 22 people were killed, and the gunman is suspected of targeting Hispanics. Former Vice President Joe Biden scheduled to speak at this hour.
You heard the Ohio shooter was a big
Democrat.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Socialist.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Black. Believe in social.
He was very pissed off that we weren't a socialist country right now.
Right. Everything should be free. I like the Democratic convention or the debate. Like, if all the immigrants that come across, should they just have free health care as soon as they get here? They all raise their hands.
They all raise on that one night. Yeah, that one.
Yeah, the second night.
So can you imagine? Because John Kennedy was really a hero of the Democrat. You remember what he said in his inaugural speech, right?
I know.
Ask not what the country could do for you.
Yeah, what can I? Yes. Okay. Yep.
That saying right there, and he didn't make it up. He got it from somebody. But that saying right there, he would be lambasted today.
I don't care. Come on over. I'm sorry. I just don't feel good. I don't know what it is.
You're worked up, boy.
No. I actually don't feel good. I wanna go to sleep. Sure. I just don't want to get anything. So.
Take care. Get better.
I'm sorry, bro.
No, it's okay. I can tell you're not yourself.
Yeah, could you?
Oh, yeah, as soon as I walked in,
Man, I'm sorry. I'm feeling
I thought you were just speeding off of Mark's. Yeah. Get better.
Make sure I'm on. But you gotta get back into the live stuff.
Sorry. Let me show you how to do it. The best way, Mark. This is what I would do if I were you. Now, when you do this, if you go to incognito, you can do everything and never have to worry about it. You just log out. You never have to worry about anything else. So you go to Gmail. When you log in, then you go over to your docs.
Where's our...
So now this will not be recorded. You just do it. As long as you log out at the end. So now you log in, but when you go to docs, don't go up there.
Mark and Tom, Frank Duran's on for his live. He's on line 6.
Let me show you. And then when you do it, I'll show you.
Yeah, I know. Then you just... God dang it.
But I want to show you where to go to docs. You don't.
Oh, I got to get spots up there, man.
That's what I mean. So go there. That's where you go to drive.
Yeah, that's what I always do.
Right?
I do always.
Yeah, okay, good. Okay, cool.
And then I just search radio.
And just make sure I really did log out. I think I did.
Okay.
Thank you, Mark.
He's worked up, man.
Just got a comment. Who's the good-looking guy in Mark's chair?
That's funny.
It's not funny.
Alright.
Anything to fight age, you get at Revitalized Health. They deliver hormones naturally, whether it's estrogen, testosterone. They also do treatment for...
What lives do I got besides Frankie?
You'll never believe what BioT can do for you. Men and women. They're really age fighters at Revitalized Health. 3 brothers started Revitalized Health. 2 of them are nurse practitioners. The other one is the practice manager, optimizing hormones and also battling age. People call it age management. I call it full-out war. They do a great job. They also have Botox, they have collagen, Juvederm, Kybella, and more. Give them a call, 720-361-2302. 720-361-2302. Or how about this? TheHormoneBros.com. TheHormoneBros.com. You will love the experience. They have instant blood tests and all of the therapy you need to stay young and healthy. HormoneBros.com. If you want low monthly payments, Century RV. They have a wide selection. A lot of people shop the internet and then come to Century RV right here in Colorado. 2 locations out west of the city, just north of 6th Avenue between Kipling and
What do you mean?
Denver nuisance law problem. Oh, this Don got another. The caller was, Don is the one.
New and used. Great service. Great selection.
And I'm sorry, you said tinnitus, fix it, and I'm missing one. Is Frank in this right now, or is he coming up?
Hi, I'm Linda Gardner, host of Your Money, Your Retirement, Saturday on 630 KL. If you're concerned about the markets, call today to schedule a complimentary review of your portfolio. Call 720-488-8604. That's 720-488-8604. Or online, yourmoneyyourretirement.com.
Heart of Granite for your granite. If you are looking for a deal, and I mean a deal, you're going to find at Art of Granite, direct stone importer. You're also going to love the guy. Mitch Fleury is a great guy. We have good people on the referral list at referrallist.com. You will love the way he does business. You want to know why? You can get prices on the phone. If you're doing a kitchen project, you don't have to run all over and shop around. Call. Think about that. You call up, give him measurements, you can send him a photo. He'll give you prices, and those prices, they will not be far off. I mean, a few $100 maybe. And of course, you go to the showroom to pick your countertop material, the actual slab.
Did you ever find it, Mark, in here? Oh, I'm sorry, you're probably bugging me.
What'd you say?
Did you ever find the thing in Denver, what they get for the nuisance?
No, I saw the breakdown. That guy that emails me, that Porter, he's pretty on top of shit. I don't see a line number for nuisance law. I see a lot of lines. Did you get it too?
Well, no, I'm looking at, you had it here. I'm just looking
Yeah. Is there any Dr. Kelly in this hour by any chance, even a pre-recorded? Okay.
Tino, the Troubleshooter.
Oh, yeah, 866-966-HELP. Did you guys know that's actually a number? I'm Mark Major. This is the Troubleshooter Show. Guess what? We're going to solve problems, answer questions, take your complaints. Did you know that, Shemansky? I'm telling you right now, 866-966-HELP. Why do we have, I'm not even going to get into this. I don't want Tom getting upset, but why do we have a national number?
I'm not sure.
Okay, well we have
because you have the shows nationwide. I mean,
well,
people
man, we get calls from all over.
I mean, I know I've been on here, and somebody called from Georgia.
Our podcast is downloaded more than anything in Denver when it comes to anything on the iHeart. I don't care what talent it is, whoever it is, more than anybody. Numero uno, including other hosts on much bigger stations.
Wow.
It's remarkable. You realize we have people that hate us listen to us? Can you imagine that?
Isn't that funny?
Dan, what do you make of that? How many times? I have gotten complaints personally. Tom gets them all the time. I've gotten complaints. Oh, I can't stand this. But they hang on every single word I say. What's wrong with these freaks?
It's almost to record it and listen to you again.
You know what? Just to play it back to me. Suzanne, is it my elegant voice you fell in love with? Was it my muscle mass? Was it my ability to play Metallica riffs? What was it?
I don't even know now. All of the above, Mark. All of it.
On the other side of the glass, by the way, we have open lines. 303-713-8255. Anything you want to know behind the scenes, too. Anything you want to know. You have a question, you know the one I get, what's Tom like, blah, blah, blah. Any question you have, I would be happy to answer. 303-713-8255. Now, joining Suzanne on the other side, a face I haven't seen for a while, Grant, where is Ugly Ed? Why are you here? I don't understand, sir. I thought you worked for Mandy now.
It's got some knee issues.
He's got knee issues.
Yeah, he's getting some fluid drain, so I'm taking over, stepping in the old seat for the day.
Okay, well, let me ask you something. What the heck are you doing now? Are you over on Mandy's show? What are you doing?
I'm a little bit of everywhere. I'm doing the Broncos for KOA now. I'll be doing...
Do you like doing the
Lewis and
sports?
Logan here in September.
Do you like the sports?
Yeah, I thought I was a diehard fan until I met these guys.
Oh, I know. It's crazy. It's crazy. We used to have a guy in there drive me crazy. I couldn't stand him. I'm not going to say his name again, Drew, but here's the deal with Drew. He would watch baseball 24/7 in there. That was what he would do in there. He would literally watch baseball. He'd watch the games, Mark. It was crazy.
And the Cubs, anyways.
Oh, the Cubs, big time. And the Rockies as well, but I don't think he liked the Rockies. I don't know. Mark, do you go to a lot of these games coming up? You go to the Broncos games? By the way, this is Mark Szymanski with Genesis.
I am a season ticket holder for the Broncos.
Are you?
And I make a few games to the Rockies every year, and a few Avalanche, and a few...
I might trade you something.
Nuggets.
Are your seats any good at the Broncos?
If you like to see the whole field, yeah.
I went to, believe it or not, I went to see Obama when he got the Democratic, what do you call it, the nomination.
Correct.
Way back when. That was here at that stadium.
Yep.
We had floor seats or floor...
So you didn't get to see everything like I can.
No, but hold on. Let me finish. So we get there, and the fire marshal said there was too many people on the floor or on the field. So we couldn't be there. So they pointed up. We ended up literally at the highest level, and right above us were snipers in case there was any trouble, walking that little catwalk around.
Right.
It was pretty crazy, man.
I bet, yeah.
Yeah, it was something to see. I'm glad I went to that.
Sometimes if the line's really long, I just have the blimp drop me off at my seats. A little quicker.
We advertise referral list on Comcast Television. So I might say, okay, this month we're going to hit Castle Rock and Parker. This month we might hit this. One of the things that's very interesting about Comcast is they have a pre-party for any game here right in the parking lot. They have a building.
Right.
And I always have access to that, so I'll send some of our clients down there if they have tickets. Doesn't include tickets to the game, but I can send you down there.
Right.
So before the game, you get music, you get food, you get drinks of all time. Yeah, it's really cool, man.
We do a tailgate before every game. We call it the power plant lot. It's right west of, no, sorry, just east of the end lot. And we call it the power plant because it's right next to that power plant that's right there next to light rail. We have a good time.
How much did this upset you? And Don, by the way, I'm going to bring you up in a second. Don is actually the caller that this nuisance law got brought back up about.
Right.
What do you think about this? You're a business owner. I know you don't live in Denver, but honestly, is it hard to believe these guys suck that bad?
It's really sad, and you know what? I really feel sorry for the people that also now he lost his vehicle. Does that mean, or whoever lost their vehicle, and now can they drive to work? Is that taken, you know?
Well, we had that one caller who called up last hour and said exactly that. Hey, even if they do get it back, you know, it disrupted their life big time.
And then
they might have missed work. They haven't had a car for a period of time. Anything could have happened.
Maybe there was a family emergency. They had no way to get somewhere. You know, maybe their child was at school and sick and they couldn't go get them. I mean, this is horrible.
Yeah, it is.
And then what do they do with it? Go to auction?
No. They generally, if there's no lien on it, this is what Corey told me, who's one of the attorneys over there. If there's no lien on it, eventually they refer to it as an abandoned vehicle. And then they go through grabbing title and then selling it. So remember, it's civil. It's not a criminal. That would be more of a criminal. And then the second thing, if there is a lien, because I asked him this on it, I said, let's say the vehicle is worth, $30,000, and there's a $20,000 lien from Wells Fargo or whoever they purchased the vehicle with.
Right.
Well, generally speaking, if the vehicle's worth more than what's owed, then they will pay for it. So the actual lien holder, and owning Goodyears forever, this happened all the time. If I was holding someone's vehicle and basically it was abandoned, I'd reach out, figure out who actually held the paper on it, and they would generally pay me off. Unless if it was upside down, then I would have to do an abandoned vehicle.
Right.
But it still really screws people. Don, in your case, I did talk to Corey yesterday. Don, are you there?
Yeah.
So, man, you're up against it. Did you hear the conversation Tom had today with the head of the nuisance law, for lack of a better term?
Not really.
Yeah, well, it was pretty good, man. It was pretty good. And we're looking into it more for you. I talked to Corey yesterday, and I don't agree with this. At first, I'll be honest, at first I thought, nah, we're missing something. I really did. Like, like the tags were out of date. But even in that case, I don't think it's that fair. But something. But no, man, you were right. We're really not missing anything on it, Don. You know, we talk to these folks, and I want people out there to really, truly understand how bad this is. This guy right here dropped your vehicle off at a mechanic's, right, in Denver.
Yes.
When did you do that? What day?
July the 6th.
So on July 6th, we're going back over a month. This guy hasn't had his vehicle for a month. Now, the mechanic was going to do what? Were you having a problem, like an oil change? What was he going to do?
Plugs.
He was going to do a tune-up. So he does a tune-up either before or after. Then he test drives the vehicle, correct?
Right.
And while he's test driving it, apparently he gets pulled over, and because he doesn't have a license, they basically tow your car.
No. He didn't get pulled over.
Got it.
That's the whole thing. They seen him drive. They said the DA said the cop
Who saw him? So wait a minute. Okay, I think I remember this. So they say they saw him drive it, but they didn't get to him in time. He parked it and walked away.
No, he parked it, and then he went back across the street towards his house.
Got it.
And then they put up behind the vehicle. That's when they put up behind the vehicle, talking about. They told him it was the place was the wrong place for some missing. They entered the place to fit the car.
But they weren't, right?
But they were. The car. They was the car.
No. I'm saying, Don, the plates were fine, correct?
Yeah.
They were in date. There was no problem with the plates. They were for that vehicle.
Yep.
Okay. So he walks across the street and they tow the car.
Right.
And, of course, you're not around this whole time. You dropped it off with the mechanic.
Right.
Then the next thing that you know, what happens? Does he call you? What happened? What's next?
Yeah, he calls me. They take him in jail. His son called me. And I called down there, and they told me my car was towed, and I was going to pick it up at Denver County, at Denver Pound.
Yeah.
I went down there. Right. So I called.
So how much do they want right now to get it out? The last offer I saw was what, $1,600 or $1,800 you got to pay?
Yeah, to get my car.
And listen to this, guys. He's got to agree if it's used in any form of illegal activity in the next 2 years or 6 months, whatever it is, I don't remember, they'll take it again.
Oh, jeez.
I mean, it's crazy. Yeah. So think, everybody listening out there, this is why Tom gets so upset about this. And it is outrageous, and I'll say it again. I wasn't convinced this guy wasn't missing something in the story, because that happens all the time. There's nothing. In fact, it's even worse. Denver acknowledges all this. This guy drops it off a mechanic. Mechanic drives it. Tags are in date, no problem, no issues anywhere. The cop pulls him over for bogus reasons, doesn't even pull him over. The car's just parked again. They have it towed because they figure this other guy did not have a license to drive it. How did they figure that out anyhow? Did the guy walk over while they were towing it?
I don't know. I didn't get that part, but I just
and you know what?
The car could have just been parked there. They could just go and pull it behind anybody's and go tow it there.
It just doesn't even matter. So then they tow it. Then they tell this guy, because the guy that was driving it didn't have a current license.
But they never really saw him driving it. They just heard that he was driving
it. Well, there is no charges.
Right.
There is no charges.
Right.
At first they said they were going to charge the guy.
Right.
But since there's no witnesses to him driving it, it doesn't even matter. There is no charges.
Right.
It's crazy, Don. So we are going to stay on top of this. Here's one of the things we're going to do. Deputy Dan loves this idea. Don, I'm going to let you go for now, though, okay, man? We've got all your information. We're going to stay in touch with you, okay?
Okay.
I think we need to get him his car back, though.
Yeah,
I really think we fight this secondary. That's something we got to talk about.
Right. Can you go after him separately for this now? Can you go back after this?
Suing the city?
Right.
Suing the city.
Right.
That's the problem. You're suing the city.
Right.
You're up against, who are you up against? Every taxpayer in Denver should be outraged at this.
Right.
They should be outraged. Absolutely outraged. I'll tell you someone I never get outraged at. I love this guy. This guy has saved me a buttload of money. And I mean a buttload. When we first started looking at our house, It was X amount. I'm not going to tell people how much it was, but it was substantial. By the time we closed on the house, this man I'm going to saved us over $100,000 with his negotiating skills. Frank, you are an incredible person. When you sold our other house, what I was truly amazed on, listen to this, Mark. He had a maid come in. He had a professional maid/cleaning service come in, clean the whole house and prep it so the average person that looks at it, you know, Frank knows what people wants to see. Second thing, ready? One of the best photographers I've ever seen came in. He did this thing called, I think it was called the Megahorn or Matterhorn or something. It was a 3D deal where they could walk through my house. In the first night, people go, how does Frank Duran sell more homes per month than most realtors do in a year? You know how he does it? Advertising it, just like he doesn't just put it up on MLS. He had over 80,000, and there's some. I'm going to be very nice. There's some woman that listens that hates when I talk about Frank because she's a realtor that probably sells next to nothing. And if I had her name, I'd actually give it out right now as much as she's irritated me. But I don't have it. But let me tell you this, and this is a true number. He had over 80,000 people do a virtual walkthrough of my house the first weekend. Frank, how the hell do you do that?
You know, Mark, we strategically map out where we think the highest amount of buyers are coming from, and we spend all our time aggressively pursuing those buyers. And, hey, thank God it worked out, buddy. It worked out very well for us in the end.
And how about that prepping? Do you do that for every house? Every house you send in a full cleaning crew. And this doesn't, you don't bill them for this. This is all part of your service level.
This is something we do up front, and you know, I always say there's no traffic jams along the extra mile. We always want to make sure we go the extra mile and do all those extra things that add up to big things.
That's absolutely incredible, man. And you save people a ton of money. Your negotiating skills, I've seen them straight up. I've seen them. In fact, that guy that sold, this was kind of weird because that one woman that called who didn't know what she was talking about, we went back in and looked at stuff. They actually, after we made one offer that they did not take, they actually raised the price. What do you think that realtor was thinking?
You know, maybe thinking they could hit a different group of buyers, a different bracket of buyers. It's really hard to say, Mark. In the end, I think it's just like a quarterback in the pocket. They held onto the ball too long and they took a sack.
Man, Frank, you're the best out there. Anytime you guys want to know what your house is worth, you'll do it for free, too. 100% for free. Even if you're not thinking of selling, if you haven't looked at the value, he'll give you a full valuation. He'll meet with you. He's the best guy out there. And then hopefully when you are ready to sell, you'll give Frank a call. The other thing he does that I don't know any other realtor that does, you ready for this? He does not hold you hostage to a contract. You want out, you're out. No strings attached, even if he cleaned your house. 303-920-1622. 303-920-1622. Frank Duran, the real estate man.
This report is sponsored by Exxon and...
So that's done over? What was that? That's not national emergency. What is it? Did we even go off?
So watch out for police still on the scene there.
Got it.
Down in fairly normal shape. Going downtown in that usual spot. Northbound Alameda doesn't let up until you get north of Spear.
God!
Remains slow in the elevated portion, both directions of 270 heavy approaching Vasquez. Weather forecast. Going to be a chance of afternoon thunderstorms today with a high near 93. Right now, partly cloudy in Denver and 83. We do traffic and weather. I'm Pete Wagner. 630 K-How.
Exxon and Mobil's new Synergy Supreme Plus Premium Gasoline. Their best fuel ever keeps your engine 2 times cleaner for better gas mileage. It's Supreme. It's premium. It's Supremium. Fill up today or go to Exxon.com for more details.
You know, Colorado tinnitus. Tom has used these folks forever and a day. I remember he's got he does have tinnitus, and they sent out this, I want to say it was called the Syncra. And what was really cool about this product, listen to this, if you suffer from that ringing in the ears, this thing basically tries to mask it But what's cool about it is you can do a free setup with it. In other words, see if it works for you. And if it does work for you, you might never hear that ringing in the ears again. The other thing that I love about these guys, Colorado Tinnitus and Hearing Center, is they have every kind of hearing aid you can imagine down there. You'll get a comprehensive hearing evaluation. They do all the testing, all the diagnostics, and they'll figure out what you need. They've got hearing aids that are so cool now. You can operate them with your cell phone. They're just the top of the line stuff. But basically the process is simple. You get the hearing test. They'll say which one's right for you. You get support. You get the counseling. You figure out if it's working. They'll switch you out if it's not. There's no obligation. Quit suffering with tinnitus or any hearing problems. Call these guys. Dr. Patty and Dr. Lisa are awesome people. Ready? 303-534-0163. But honestly, just write this down. Ready? Help4ringing.com. It's that simple. You have to check them out. Quit living without the best hearing possible. Help4ringing.com. I wonder if we can get rid of Dan under the nuisance law. All right. Hey, I have got a... boy, you've never seen my deck, have you? So my deck is cement. It's crazy, man.
Right.
So they did almost like, I want to say, maybe a 2-inch pour of cement. And then under it is plywood. So I'm trying to figure how they initially poured it. Because what holds it all up to, 6x6 probably, 8 6x6 beams. One of them I'm going to eventually, and I'd rather do it sooner than later, because it's the corner, I need to swap out. I don't know what's wrong with it. Honestly, it's so weathered, unlike all the other ones, I don't know. For all I know, it's termites or something.
No, it could.
So what I need to do is you pillar it and then swap it out. So if I send you pictures, can you give me an idea?
Yeah. And so, I mean, are they cedar or you don't know?
I think they are cedar. They're big, man.
Yeah, but termites don't eat cedar, so.
Oh, well, you'll know on the pictures. I think it is cedar, though.
But sometimes just one's bad. You know?
I love the cement, but the big pain in the ass, if I ever want to redo it, it'd be a fortune, man. Even if I wanted to redo it with Trex or something, you still got to jackhammer a story, almost 2 stories up,
right,
and get rid of it.
Right.
Daniel Delbert must still be napping.
Okay.
Who's Delbert?
He's kind of a nut. He's called in before you'd recognize his voice.
Why do I want to talk to him?
Because you like nuts.
I do have a lot of conversations with you.
Nah, he's... I don't know what all of his issues. He's got so many issues. Section 8 guy.
So I heard this about this nuisance thing yesterday on the radio. I mean, I didn't.
Oh, really?
I didn't listen to the show. I heard parts of it. Oh, man.
So I'm back an entire break now, aren't I?
I will bet you they do.
All right, let's just play it by ear. We'll do it. I blasted through. I'm literally on second break. If it's just shattered it, that's crazy. Well, we just have a $50 deductible. It's not a big deal. I mean, is he driving it or what? Just tell him to get it home. That's the important part. I mean, if it's truly shattered, that's crazy. Yeah.
Windshield?
He said it's shattered. Does that happen?
Sometimes.
Grant remembers what I like. What's the best concert you ever seen, Szymanski, honestly?
Jeez.
Come on, give me something. Work with me.
Right. Garth Brooks is the last one I went to. It was great.
I didn't see Garth Brooks.
It was a great concert.
We've never seen Garth, have we?
Unfortunately, no.
We've seen Toby Keith. It was like the last show he did at the Pepsi Center on this particular tour, and he was just beat. You could tell he'd been on the road forever. he just sucked, man. I love his music. I love that particular album.
Yeah, we're going to Phil Collins coming up.
I'm jealous.
This weekend's a great big concert. You got the Stones. You got Billy Joel.
Yeah, Billy Joel's huge.
Yeah, and
they even said on 9 News or one of the news stations yesterday, it's going to be brutal in traffic this weekend because of the concert.
And light rail will have no extra cars.
Yeah.
No big deal. We'll just run regular schedule.
Hey, Deputy Dan. Vince, hold tight. I'll go to you in a minute. By the way, folks, 303-713-8255. Ripped off, taken advantage of. Throw me something here. I'll go after the company like, as Kalen Eccles would say, like a pit bull. No. What was it?
A pit bull going after a bone.
Yeah, that was one of our Sleaze Brigade folks. You can always check out sleazebrigade.com, by the way. But, Deputy Dan, you made a comment over one of the breaks that a lot of these cities that you would call corrupt. I don't think Denver's corrupt. I don't like this nuisance law whatsoever. But to go as far as corruption, do you actually think Denver's corrupt?
I just think they have laws that...
Well, okay, that's different, though.
Benefit the city, and they don't benefit the citizens.
To me, corruption is like, what's that city that the feds gave like $10 billion to in the last X amount of years, and the crime rate, it might be Baltimore. It's just as bad as it ever has been.
Yeah, Baltimore's the worst.
It seems like a lot of these cities, for example, Los Angeles. Los Angeles now, if you just Google Los Angeles homeless, you will see pictures of stuff I won't even say on radio. It's so disgusting. They don't know how to handle the homeless problem. And at the same time, they're giving free, I think the entire state's giving free health care to everybody. Why don't you solve the problems you have right now?
Agreed. No, they got big rat problems.
And they're all what? They're all what, as you said, Democrats.
Right.
Yeah, and I'm not getting political, but it is ironic. Some of the cities in the absolute worst shape tend to go that way. You know what? I bet you, though, there's some pretty... Down in Georgia, Alabama, there's probably some pretty corrupt old boys down there, too,
sure.
right?
I'm sure.
That like the Confederate flag. We'll go down there and fly that Confederate flag. Keep our 6-shooters on us.
Right. It's just that the big cities tend to be Democratic controlled.
Well, they seem to. I think everybody has good intentions. I think what happens is they get a lot of money from the feds or from tax revenue, whatever it is. Although there's a lot of places like New York City and stuff now that are... they don't have money to continue. I don't know what they're doing. But I think they throw the money in the wrong direction. I think that's the problem. Someone said, who's running for president, said $1,000 guaranteed to everybody, guaranteed housing. Well, you can't do it. And not only does the math simply not there, it just doesn't support it. I don't care who you tax. The other part of that whole deal, though, is that doesn't fix the problem. Why would someone go out and get a job and get a house or work hard to get a house, get their own property, if Uncle Sam's going to give it to you?
I agree.
It perpetuates the problem.
No incentive to go do something. Nothing. If everything's free, then what's the incentive to go to work? I mean, we'll just sit home.
Years ago when I lived in Voorhees, New Jersey. It was right across from basically Philadelphia. Camden, New Jersey was the hellhole. New Jersey itself's a hellhole. But Camden was truly the hellhole. At one point, it was the cocaine capital of the United States. But when we lived there, one of the interesting they did is for the government, they would give $500 a child for welfare. So you would find a lot of women, not a lot, but you would find a certain demographic in Camden. They would have numerous children because they get $500 a pop.
Yep.
But that doesn't fix anything. In fact, if anything, you have 10 kids. My God, you're making $5,000 back in the 80s a month.
Right. No, it's horrible when those things happen. It just doesn't work.
Vince, what's your comment on this nuisance law?
Hello, yes, sir.
Yes, sir, Vince.
My comment is that they do the same thing in New York.
Turn the radio down, bro.
Yes, sir. They got a lot of. They do the same thing in New York, and they probably have people in there from New York. That's why they're doing that.
I don't know where they're from, but I don't think New York, I assume you mean New York City. I don't know what you're actually referring to, because this is just Denver. I don't know what their nuisance laws are, but I would doubt they're as strong as Denver. I really would doubt that. And I think Tom is right. He made a statement that I started thinking in my brain. you know, who is affected by this? And I think he's right. I think it's the minorities more than anybody. I really do. I think if you call up and you're a rich white guy, you're not going to have to pay. I really do. Say, I bet if that was my Genesis, I'll tell you right now, I bet if that was my Genesis and that guy drove it, everything was the exact same, except it's me, Mr. White Guy, and it's my car, a nice car. I bet you it wouldn't have been an issue. What do you guys think? Honest to God, what do you think?
I hate to bring the race in, but I do think as far as being rich has a big deal if they know someone's going to push back.
Well, that's just it, because I'm not saying I have the ability to fight all the way to the Supreme Court. No one would do that over $1,600. This isn't something economically that makes sense. Just taking on the city is a pain in the ass. Right. Suing the city, you got to give notice to the city to sue them.
I mean, I think how many people just will roll over?
Well, most people.
Yeah, there's nothing I can do. They don't know about the Tom Martino show and get your help.
But they don't even, the problem with this particular case, this guy doesn't have a lot of money.
Right.
And his car's still down there.
Right.
And it's crazy. It really is crazy. Mike, you hold tight. I've got to take a quick break.
This is Denver's Talk Station with Dan Caplis at 4. More with Tom Martino coming up.
Okay, here's the problem. The glass is in the vehicle. He can't even drive the vehicle. He's on the side of the road. He can't. Because there's glass in the vehicle from the rock hitting the windshield.
Yeah, but it shouldn't. God, how big of a rock is it?
He simply cannot drive it. That bad. So Grant said he would finish up the show if you want me to go pick him up and get a tow out there. Or I told Miles you might have to hold on 20 minutes. He has terrible service on 83, Mark. I can barely hear him. But he says he cannot drive that car, the Santa Fe. It's that bad.
Do we still, see if we still have the tow service. Call up Hyundai. I think we still have the original tow service. They'll come get it. And then we'll get it delivered over to Premium Auto Glass. It needs to get over to the premium closest to us.
So do you want me to have Grant finish the show while I deal with that, or do you want me to finish the show out and then we deal with it?
You can have, Grant can finish. I don't, it's fine.
I can go out there too.
Fix it 24/7. These guys, listen, for $39 right now, you have to call today. It's simple as that. Here's what they're going to do. They're going to come out, and you're going to get a licensed HVAC guy to give a full tune-up. And I'm not talking about, hey, I just want to come out here and look at it so I can write up a huge estimate. These guys are going to actually tune it up. Why do they do this for way less than it costs them? This service with labor and everything, gas and insurance and everything that makes a business tick probably costs them $150 to $250 to do, because they're going to spend probably over an hour out there cleaning your furnace. They're going to get rid of the dirt, which is the #1 killer of a furnace. They're just going to clean everything, including the air conditioner. If your air conditioner isn't up to snuff and it hasn't been running great, they're going to check that condenser outside. They're going to make sure there's not all kinds of dirt on it. They're going to clean everything. They're going to get you in great shape, but you have to call today, because as soon as it gets hot again over the weekend, this deal is gone. $39 right now, 720-526-3939. 720-526-3939. Fix it 24/7.
I can go in there and take the calls.
I don't care, Dan. We'll probably the three of us just talk. I don't know why it's so slow today, nor do I give a shit.
Actually, a lot of people commenting that they really like that nuisance thing that they brought up.
What do you mean, they like the law?
No. Oh. They liked that it was brought up because they didn't know about it.
Is that so, comrade?
Yes.
You kind of wonder, maybe some more changes will be happening.
There's a guy, that law is such BS, I'm glad I'm in Springs. Well, Springs is not the greatest either.
They don't have anything close to this, though.
Yeah.
Denver, I was skeptical. Tom's been talking about this for years. It's the first time I've actually dug in. I've talked to people down there. Man, they have all the authority they want is what it comes down to.
Yes, the lawyers get to make the decision.
Right. There doesn't even have to be a crime to begin with.
Yep. And like I said,
they just need to perceive there was a crime.
And it's the lawyers, like you say, they're doing it.
They're doing it to make decisions.
And it's I'll bet you it's in their objectives how much they
Hey,
get
babe,
for the city.
we really should have, if you call up that Santa Fe, I think 5 years.
Better get that car off the road. He's going to get towed and it's going to be impounded.
I'm not worried about it. He's in Elizabeth, bro.
They should tow
They got a
to
nuisance
a
law.
premium auto glass for us.
Yeah, unless if I'm missing something.
And if you are missing something, who do you want me to call to have it towed?
Well, go to Michael's Auto Body. Oh, regardless, you can call our guy. Just call our guys. They owe me a shitload. Whoever.
Cast iron towing?
Yeah, call them.
Yeah, but they can
tell
pay-
them we need it towed.
But they will pay for it. Hyundai, you're right, it's 5 years.
And it could be over 5 years. It's a 15.
That might be for a warranty work, though.
No, I don't know how the towing
I think they automatically do the towing thing.
Can I call Cast Iron, or do you want me to start with Hyundai?
Call Cast Iron. As long as they can get out there and get it over there, that's fine.
Okay. Bye, Mark.
Tell him. Oh.
Wasn't you, it's this smart.
Oh, he's off today anyhow, so it's not going to matter. I was saying for him to get back to work.
Yeah. What about his girlfriend?
I mean, what kind of rock, like, shatters it like that, though?
Pretty big.
That's what I want to know.
Yeah. Was he following a truck? Was it a truck that dropped it off?
What just happened during the show? Is that what happened?
As soon as she told me, like,
There's glass. It's got to be small glass because those are made. They got that sheet of glue.
he's saying
in there.
it's undrivable.
Well, it's tempered.
It might have hit right on the driver's side.
It's tempered and just, so then
The spiders, right?
It's so it doesn't shard you.
Right. But there should only be flakes of it inside.
Right.
Unless it's a huge rock.
Right, because you have those layers, that film. That
Right.
film,
The
between
film
two
there
layers
is
of glass.
glued in there, right?
What is this ASAP crap?
Or he could do, he should just punch it out.
Look up ASAP towing.
ASAP or ASP? ASAP?
ASAP.
There's one in Aurora, there's one in Denver,
Says Aurora.
there's one in Carmen City. You want the Aurora number?
I'm hoping my car's sold today.
He's selling it through Blinker.
Oh yeah, I heard you guys advertise for that.
The guy's got to be serious if he's coming from Greeley.
What's that?
The guy's got to be serious if he's coming from Greeley.
Yeah. When is Garth coming? Did he just come?
He's been here and gone.
Yeah.
He says the best concert of his life, though, here in Denver.
Oh, I'm sure he says that everywhere.
You know what?
Come on, Mark.
You know what? I saw.
What's he going to say? Hey, New York, the best concert I ever had was in Denver.
I think it was the biggest, though, right? It was like 80,000 people.
Oh, it's 80,000.
No, you guys are both wrong when it comes to Garth. I know more than you.
Well, you probably do.
The largest concert he did was in New York City, and it was almost 1 million people.
Wow.
So in your face, both of you.
So,
Deputy Dan, Comrade Daniel, I would expect more out of you.
Where would your seats be at a million person event?
Where would my seats be?
Anybody's.
At home watching it on TV. I can't, like you said, your nosebleeds. I can't even do that, man. The Broncos, I guess they're fun occasionally to get out there, but honestly, that ain't my style, man. When it's cold. If it's not cold, that's fine. But when it's 0 degrees and it's snowing and sleeting.
Yeah, it's amazing when you get beer on the or ice on the inside of your beer cup.
Well, that's not a bad thing. That might be the only good part. Ice cold beer.
Keeps it cool.
Mike, what's your question?
Hey, Mark, thanks for taking my call. I'm complaining about the small claims court system we have here in Colorado. I recently had to take a customer to court to get payment, and but I was not able to collect for the to serve them. I couldn't get reimbursed for that. I had to meet with a mediator the day before.
Hold on. First of all, I love the fact there's a mediator. I hate going. The only place I know in Colorado that I know of that you go directly to court, don't pass go, is Denver. And the judges down there, at least according to stuff that I have dealt with, are horrible. In fact, in one incident, well, Dan, you kind of dealt with this too. It took 2 months just to even get a...
Right, because we had so much evidence. But actually, I thought he did a good job as far as his final verdict.
But, Mike, generally on the process serving, I don't know why they wouldn't pay you if you put it on the initial paperwork Mark, long as it was reasonable and long as it doesn't put you over the $7,500 limit.
Well, it didn't let me. It didn't let me collect anything except for the amount that was owed, which that's what bothers me is.
I bet if I, Mike, listen to me though. Mike, I don't want to give bad information out for people listening. On your initial summons and complaint, and where your process server actually fills it out and you get the affidavit of service, did you or did you not put down how much it cost to serve them?
Yes.
Well, then you should have got paid. I don't know what to tell you.
It does depend on judges.
This is it was Littleton, and I just felt like, I mean, I should be compensated for my time too. If whoever wins the case,
that's not what small claims court is for. You could have brought them to county court even if it was under $7,500.
I guess the point that I'm making is we should change, since the small claim should be changed in favor, and these things should be changed for those people that win the case, because it is time consuming and it's not fair to have to jump through all those hoops and need a mediator and not recover that either.
Mike, I feel so different than you. I have never had one so far that I can think of that I didn't think went very smooth. I had one company I went after, and I made a mistake on the summons and complaint, and I put in what did I put in? I put in something that was basically a federal guideline or a federal law, and they successfully got it kicked up to federal court. But then I filed the right motion, and bam, 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 we took care of it. But that's the only one I've jumped through hoops on. I love sitting down with the mediator because generally that's where everything gets done, not in front of the judge. Where did yours get finished? In front of the judge or mediator?
In front of the judge.
So did the other party show up?
Yes. Oh, yeah. And they lost their case, and I'm just saying, like I said, to be compensated for my time, and it would be appreciated. I'm sure I'm not the only person that's had to do this.
But Mike, that's not part of. It's just not part of small claims. I mean, I appreciate how you don't like it, but you did good. Did you get paid though? Did they write you a check?
Oh yeah, wrote me a check right on the spot.
See, it does work.
Yes, it does, absolutely.
It does work.
It's just, I just think we could, and it should be kicked up to 10,000. 7,500 is a little light these days. It's easy to spend,
There's states with a lot less than 7,500.
Yeah, there is.
I think Kansas like 2,500.
Anyway, you can actually bring someone to court for $55 in this state, up to $7,500. I think it's a pretty powerful tool. I'm getting ready to serve. Literally, I'm going downtown today to Denver, which I dread, to file a case. And I'll tell you who the case is against. It's against a hospital over Skyridge Hospital. I forget, I don't have my paperwork in front of me, but it's whoever owns Skyridge.
So why do you have to go to Denver for that? Shouldn't that be down in Douglas County?
No, because their corporate headquarters is actually right across from my heart, literally catty corner to us. I walked over there yesterday, and I said, hey, guys, I don't know who you want to hand this to. I'm not going to file it today, but if someone calls me in the next 24 hours to talk about this, because I can't get anywhere through your phone system. Right. So if someone wants to talk about it, I'm not going to file it. I didn't hear anything from them, but I'm going to win. I have no doubt I'm going to win against Skyridge.
But do you have to file it in the county that they preside in, the business you're going to sue?
Yes, absolutely.
So you can't file in your own county?
No, like where's Genesis located?
Jeffco.
So even if you worked in my house in Douglas County, right, I wouldn't file at my house. I would file where you are, the business is.
Okay.
Now, the only exception to that is it doesn't have to be a headquarters. This just turned out the easiest for me. Let's say you're suing 7-Eleven Corp., and they're not franchises. Let's pretend they're all owned by one company.
Right.
And you want to go after one particular store. You could use that as the address. If you lived in Douglas, you could find a 7-Eleven in Douglas and use that.
Okay.
When I went after one of our big cell phone companies, I just found a company-ran store that was the closest to the county, or that was in the county I wanted to sue them in. Because I hate suing anybody in Denver.
Sure.
I hate it, but I thank God every day for small claims, because if you take the time and you're in the right, that's the important part. If you're not in the right, it's not going to matter.
Sure.
You're gonna come through.
Well, it's also how you present it, huh? You got to keep it simple.
Oh my God!
You get your 10 minutes and that's it.
Well, that's what I like. That guy didn't like mediation. I love mediation because me, the other party, and the mediator can literally discuss something.
Go back and forth.
Yeah, you can discuss something, and a lot of times a mediator, and I know I've probably dealt with the one he's talking about in Littleton, off Littleton Boulevard down there, the old courthouse, Jefferson County.
Yeah, bet you have.
Yeah, I know I have, and they're pretty good down there. I sat across from a rideshare company, a big-ass rideshare company, and there's only 2 of them, but when I signed a non-disclosure, I keep it. But one of the rideshare companies I sat down next to, and I was going after a certain amount, and they ended up writing me a check that day for the exact amount. And it was after I laid everything out with the mediator. They had to hire an outside attorney. Yes, if people do not have an attorney to represent them in small claims court, they can motion the court to get an attorney, but only under certain circumstances. And this particular company was granted the right to have an attorney represent them. So it was me, their attorney, and the mediator, and I got exactly what I wanted because they understood I was right.
Right.
That's really what it comes down to.
Sure.
So if you have been wrong, do it. Don has got a horrible towing issue, apparently. Don, let me do a quick break so I give you a few minutes. We'll be right back. Don, hold tight.
This report is sponsored by...
So the mediator is kind of like people's court then? So you can go back and forth and discuss it? Because the judge is not like people's
No,
court.
the mediator, it's us 3 right here. Me and him have a beef. And basically, we're talking, and you're keeping it cool. You might actually throw in, well, you know, literally if the contract says this and it doesn't have an out, or it has, they might give their advice to either or. I don't think the judge is going to go that way. Let me try to explain where he or she might be coming from. I mean, it's true.
But the mediator does ask questions?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, but
I've been several times.
because the Denver judge, it's basically you give what they're doing. Okay.
Yeah, but that's court.
Right.
That's not mediation.
And that's I thought when I went. I thought it was kind of like people's court.
That's why I hate Denver. I hate Denver because they don't have mediation. And with all the money they make on the nuisance law, who am I doing? Icon?
What's this nuisance law?
Icon Eye Care. These guys are absolutely the coolest. In fact, I went down there years ago. They got this thing for free. If you want to check out LASIK, see if you're a candidate, you can make an appointment. I'll give you the website here in a little bit, but it's really cool they do that. The other thing that Tom had done, and this is a remarkable deal, if you have cataracts, and even if you don't have cataracts, but you just want to see perfectly, you can get a clear lens replacement. You realize Tom's eyes, they replace the lenses, and he can see far away or close up with those lenses. He doesn't have to wear glasses anymore. I never see him wear glasses anymore. Maybe occasionally if he's on his phone and he's reading like a PDF contract, but compared to how he was before, he wore glasses all the time. Tom Martino no longer needs them thanks to these guys. But they do a lot more than the clear lens. They do the LASIK. They do just overall great eye care. You have to check them out. Suzanne's gone down to one of their physicians. I've gone down there. Tom goes down there. And how they do this part, I don't know. They give the absolute best price you will get around on LASIK. They've got convenient locations all over the Front Range. It's a great company. It's a great service. You have to check these guys out with any eye problems. Ready? IconEyeCare.com. IconEyeCare.com. It's that simple. They were cool, man. I went down there. I went to the one right down by, what is it, Lincoln and 25.
Cool Icon?
They got me right in on the appointment. The whole thing took about an hour. The one thing I don't like, but I understand why they have to do it, they have to dilate you. I hate that feeling.
Yeah.
I hate it.
So, because you pay extra at my eye doctor, you get the shot of air in your eye.
Yeah, for, what is that called?
The test for the pressure behind the eye.
Glaucoma? Yeah.
Glaucoma. Not glaucoma. Glaucoma is when you sniff too much glue and it puts you in a coma.
That's right. I love that feeling, though.
I'll tell you, down in Jersey, man, there was dudes that would sit around. I don't even know if they shouldn't sell this shit anymore. Those old cement things. You'd undo it and there'd be like a paintbrush. These guys would literally have them in bags, huffing this shit all day long. How they even got up and walked, I don't know.
I mean, it just fries your brain.
It just literally just decays your brain.
Well, model glue? That's what I think. Didn't they get rid of that? Model glue? That was a big for huffing.
I forgot about model glue. I used to love building models as a kid.
Because of the glue?
Because of the glue?
Great glue. So you've been to small claims, Mark? Have you been to small claims court?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. So do you think, what would you rather be, mediator or judge?
Mediator.
Okay. I've never done that. I just did the judge thing. I thought it was just like...
Judge thing sucks,
Well,
bro.
I thought it was like it would be like people's court where they ask you questions, ask them questions. No. You present, they present. Okay,
see, the time I was, it was... Where was it? It was in Bailey. The judge asked questions. He went back and forth, asked questions.
This guy emailed me. Just wanted you to know you are my hero. Hope your lawsuit goes well. Never heard of him. Boy, that's what a nice comment. In fact, you have any kind of Superman music you can come back with? I understand.
I think this nuisance is going to get...
I do like country music, though. I do. I honest to God do, Mark. In fact, at one point, it was probably my favorite music, with the exception of Metallica. Now people go, no, my God, what a...
That's an interesting combination.
Yeah, exactly. But I really do. I like that more old school stuff. Hank Williams. Or
yeah,
Junior,
Willie
at least.
Nelson. Willie Nelson.
Yeah.
Yep.
I like
Rogers.
Kenny's like, he's all right, man. They used to make so much fun of him on Saturday Night Live. Don't know him.
Oh, yeah, he's blind. I just saw him like 3 years ago in Texas.
He was killing it?
No, he's pretty old now.
Oh, he's... I saw Buddy Guy. He did pretty good, and he had this woman open up for him at Red Rocks. She was like the oldest kind of jazzy singer. I can't think of her name, but she was in her upper 80s, maybe even 90s. Buddy Guy had to be right there. They killed it. They opened up for George Thorogood, who killed it.
Right.
You know, he used to sit down. I remember seeing him at a small venue downtown years ago. He sat down, like on a stool. He comes out. It's one of these places off Colfax, like the Bluebird or one of these places. Yeah. He puts out this bar stool. He has a full bottle of Jack. And by the end of the concert, the full bottle of Jack's gone, and somehow he's still playing. I mean, it's pretty remarkable. You know, not remarkable good for you children out there listening. This is bad remarkable.
You do it every day, I guess.
Yeah, so I get this email, and you got to see it to believe it. Lewis, thank you. I do appreciate it. You made my day. It says, Mark, just wanted you to know you are my hero. Hope your lawsuit goes well in small claims. Well, Lewis, I'm not a hero. I'm just an everyday man trying to do an everyday good job.
I think we got a blues song here.
There you go. I think so.
Mark Szymanski, you do everything up and down. And Don, I promise if I don't get to you right now, I'll take you off the air. But you do everything, man. Fences, decks, everything interior.
Yep.
Full basements, full remodels of a house, pop tops.
Yeah, we're doing a pop top right now.
Oh, those are cool. Where? What area?
In Denver.
Of course.
My favorite.
You're pretty good. I'll say this. If anybody in Denver needs a project done, Mark is very good working with Denver. Denver is not the easiest with the building department. I have dealt with it on commercial properties. Ooh. They're tough, but if you know the insides and outs like this guy does, Mark can walk you through that project generally, usually on time, including a pop-up. You're pretty good at that, man.
It's one of our specialties. So, yeah.
Windows?
Windows, siding, roofing.
What's the easiest county to work in?
You know, Jeffco's not bad. Douglas County.
So they're all about the same until you hit the ones that are hard.
Yeah, Pikes Peak is tough right now, and they're not hard to work for, but they're so behind on inspections.
And listen, you can always find people on our referral list at referrallist.com. Martino started that thing. In fact, it was the first. We call it the original list, and it's the best. And I'm going to tell people right now why it's the best. There is no other list out there, and I don't care who it is. There is no other list out there with the teeth this list has. Literally during the show today, literally, I'm not going to say who because I don't punish most of the time. I remove somebody from the list. Yeah, we're paid advertising, but unlike any other place, if we find they did something wrong, we simply get rid of them, and we can hold them to task because they signed our code of ethics, which is basically a contract. Referrallist.com. Please don't forget it. Mark Szymanski, Genesis Home Improvement. Thank you for being here today. You can always find Mark at referrallist.com. Deputy Dan, I'm going to call up about this nuisance law and see if I can't use it against you to get rid of you.
What?
Huh? We'll be back tomorrow.
My mom was a guiding light. A light that shone brightest when wearing bell-bottoms.
I'm doing good. What's happening? What's going on with ASAP? What'd you him up front for? No. I mean, for what? For towing a car? Okay.
It was good, Mark.
Yep.
That's for.
It was quiet, but
it was.
I got you. So you're gonna you paid him 150 to tow it from A to B, right?
End up getting mad. Okay. Adios.
So what happened?